Never mind. Can you actually hear me, Jasmine? Are we alive?
I feel like we guys should do something fun for session 50 or something.
52, because 52 would be a year. Okay,
Well,
apparently that can be heard now. No,
skipped
shush. We're going. Hello, friends. Welcome to Roll the Quest and Technical Difficulties, where you're going to experience both the joys of live D&D and technical issues. With that, the only thing that I will mention is, and this is actually news to some people here, so I can tell them, we will not be playing the weekend of the 2nd. I believe it's 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks.
No, sorry, 3 weeks. So we'll play next week. No, it is 2 weeks from today.
It's 2 weeks.
It's the weekend of the 2nd. I don't know how to do math, but the weekend of the 2nd, there will be no D&D stream, unfortunately. With that being the case, that's the only thing I got. Sorry, the technical issues have me on a bit. So we will now jump into our session.
Take
for
your
this
time,
evening.
Hiram. I need to catch my breath after going
True.
up all the stairs.
Just running up and down. Okay, so last week you guys continued your fight with the Googler. After you were able to after quite a bit of searching, you were finally able to discover all the different names necessary, to be precise, you were able to discover the Googler himself, his name. And Razu got a little bit of almost a flashback, called a memory, of what it might have actually been, as it seems that this, along with other creatures that you guys have been run into, were largely created by Squawk. With that being the case, though, as you beat the Googler, shortly thereafter, you discovered that Razu had discovered a lady in stone, and in his attempt to save her, seemed to have unfortunately
Murdered her.
I would like to retcon this. I found a pile of rocks that were bleeding.
There's no retcon.
Entirely not
and
me.
for some reason they became
found
flesh.
it this way.
Chill. We have no serious right now. After unsuccessfully freeing the lady in stone and instead breaking her, via the stone tablet being activated on the other side of the room by Zephyr, she returned to human. Or to pieces would be a more accurate way to state it, as it seemed that not only was she broken physically, but you seem to have almost rendered her soul apart. With that, Tiku was able to discover Tiku was able to discover most of the fragments of the soul and put them back together, and still provide her with a. What would you call your send-off? Ceremonial send-off?
A funeral.
She was a funeral rite. That'd be the best way. Tiku was able to provide her soul with a funeral rite and make a meal that most decided to avoid. But with that, the man in stone seemed to react poorly, and he was seen in the wall running towards you before disappearing and then reappearing in the floor. His face cracked almost as if he was crying, and he gave Razu a deathly glare, we'll say, before vanishing. And then just talked for a few moments, again finished the funeral rite, had a little bit of a conversation with Roko about rune weaving, about possibilities, before Kaio burst into the room, face bleeding and part of his face seemingly stolen. Sorry. So with that is actually where we will jump in to our session for this evening, as again Kaio has bursted into the cave with you. The only way out is the hallway that he had just entered in from. Again, blood trickling, or it'd be more so accurate to say pouring down the side of his face, as it's very clear that he has had a rough time getting here. In addition to that, he again looks a little bit different from the last time you guys saw him. His hair is once again a different length. It's actually gone past his shoulders. In addition to that, he's missing his ring finger and his pinky on his left hand. Only has 3 fingers. With that,
I'm sure that means nothing.
Not at all.
Oh yes, I wanted to make a perception check behind him for
We
something
just got to check the
chasing
Googler. Are we going to start fighting the fingerer?
The fingerer.
Go ahead and make your perception check. I have a feeling there's not going to be a serious bone in this session for at least a little bit.
17.
17. Okay, as you run up to Kaio and go to look behind him, Kaio also kind of like follows your gaze, very clearly panicked. He goes,
I would like to run up to Kyle as well, and I will cast a level 1 Cure Wounds on him.
okay, go ahead and roll for the healing. As Kaio, you see his jaw drop down like he's trying to talk, but his mouth again being stolen currently as he goes,
Hold on. Great illustration.
16.
okay.
I hope it wasn't immediately, as he's still trying to talk, so he's not used to it.
Okay, and he healed for 16, and my music died. Lovely.
And I'm going to tell him, look, intern, not really impressing us.
As you cast Greater Restoration, you watch as the skin almost like kind of splits apart on his mouth, and his
I would
face.
actually say, like, the fire literally burns it open.
Yeah, that would work. It's like a fire actually burns an opening where his mouth is, quickly restoring it to its natural form, as this does seem to have happened more recently, as the effect is not quite permanent. And he goes, oh, I appreciate that. He pulls out the paper and says, I was gonna write it down for you. What did you do?
Killed another of the Incas.
And why would that? Soval needs help. The room's seal was broken, or the runes around it. They cracked.
He pissed off the man in stone.
The man in stone was supposed to be an ally. What did you do?
So, I tried to release someone in a rock with brute strength.
And that's so.
Second most intelligent person in the party, by the way.
Did you kill the man in stone? How would that affect?
No, it was a
Important
woman
to
in
him.
stone.
Someone extremely important to him.
Probably a wife or a girlfriend.
Something of the like.
Maybe a very fond secretary.
He wipes the blood. The wound now sealed as you've cured him. As he wipes the blood off his face and he goes,
Don't lose any more body parts. I can't do that again.
I assure you, it wasn't in the plan. That said, what does that? I still don't understand why. And
it's a
you
vision.
watch as he says this. You watch as almost like movie style quicksand. You watch as he into the stone beneath him. You being right next to him, as you kind of like, as you almost in response to it look down, the floor almost looks almost like crystalline, like think like ice frozen over a lake for a moment, and you see him falling through the stone, effectively almost like kind of flailing, looking down as you can see the man in stone seems to have grabbed his heels. And for just a moment, you watch as his heels almost start to solidify into stone, as it, and then that glass, almost see-through nature of it, kind of.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think the intern isn't going to get a spot on the team.
I think you're not gonna make it on the team.
I
gotta go.
assume that was too fast to react to.
What do you want to do?
I want to try, and
Was it an attack?
It was not. It was effectively. It looked like the floor underneath him just vanished.
Bro's about to redirect it at me.
I want to try and cast Bark Skin on him. Bark Skin just increases AC, but at the same time, it might make his skin more stone-like, so instead of him turning into stone and killing him, it will just enhance the spell. That's my thought process, anyway.
Okay. Make a. I'm gonna say it'd be a reflex check, so dexterity check,
Just a dex check.
to see if you can react fast enough. Is effectively what I'm doing with this.
Kind of like the
4.
As soon as it happens, so the way that I'm going to interpret that is as you were talking to him, you were effectively still in the midst of your perception check. Before you kind of like see him drop, you look down and you reach down and your hand hits the floor right before you're able to touch him. I'm not going to say you used the spell, as the thought was there, but you were unable to actually meet contact, or you were unable to actually establish contact and cast your spell.
Thoughts and feelings.
gotta go.
He rolls a dex check.
to teleport out.
I'm going to think about not standing on the floor.
We are still in the, so your movement is still based on your intelligence modifier. So you could, as you think about it, you immediately just, and Kane effectively hovers a good few feet off the ground.
Clay.
True.
Clay Beekman, formerly Marlowe.
This whole time, Zephyr's been just looking at the spellbooks, like, oh, that'll be handy.
He's so distracted. He's not even noticing that dude came in and then sunk into the flooring.
Oh, so
we
we're
were
ready
told
to go?
that he could only be in the walls. Why is
No.
it changed?
What?
We were told he could be in the floor, just
No,
not the
he
ceiling.
literally said stay away from the walls. He can't seem to
Wait.
travel through the floor.
Where's everyone starting at the floor?
Kaio is most likely dead.
Kyo's gone.
The man
And
in
we gotta
stone
go.
seems to have dragged him through the floor.
We gotta go, so I'm going.
Who's Kaya? Oh,
And I slowly start
okay,
floating.
I remember now.
Collateral.
As you
Yes,
start to
that's
move
right.
towards the entrance, Rocco
This
is
is why I
actually
don't
gonna
get
say
attached
you,
to people.
As you start to leave, Rocco says,
Should we save him though?
I don't think that I can accompany you.
Does anyone
you
have
told
the
us that
ability
last
to move
session.
through Earth?
We shouldn't talk over each other.
Sure, I was going to let you guys finish before Rocco said.
I don't. Not in my repertoire. I'd have to wait until tomorrow, but he'll be dead by then. The only thing I can suggest is this realm seems to react to our wants.
Who took him?
The man in stone.
I think this counts as him failing his internship.
Why did he go after Kyle?
I have no idea.
Because we just
Razu
happened to be
seems to
there.
be his target, but maybe he's picking us off one by one, saving Razu for last.
Did you and Kyle have any kind of relationship?
Other than he knew my father? Not really.
I think we should stop moving, trying to envision us finding Kaio. I
maybe-
think that's his only chance.
Or maybe not touch the stone.
Did Kyle say anything? Sorry, I was very distracted.
Yeah, he was like, oh, yes, I wasn't planning on it, then...
He mentioned that Saval's sanctum has been compromised. That Saval needs our help.
Good job, Razu. We should just get going then.
I'm like already,
Everyone.
almost to the door, but moving very slowly.
Envision in your minds finding Kaio and finding Saval, finding the door.
Let's focus
it's the
on
only way we
Saval.
have.
I think we should focus on Serval. Kaio has proven to be a rather useless member.
Focus
Not a
on
very
both.
good intern.
Are you not capable of multitasking?
I am, but I just don't want to waste my energy on that way.
Multitasking is a myth.
I'm aware.
Let's focus on Serval. Get there first. There's innocence over there.
All right, focusing on Serval.
Kyle knows what he was signing up for when he came.
Yeah. As you guys all start to move towards the exit, Rocco,
He's actually dead.
this is where Rocco,
He showed promise, but he failed his internship.
Rocco continuing his statement says, well, I don't think I can go with you. I can tell you, I don't believe the man in stone capable, from the little that I know of him, of killing.
Also, I
mean-
fought him. He's almost on par with our group.
I mean, I'm gonna.
At least a member.
Are you saying capable as in like physically not capable, or capable as in like emotionally not capable?
Physically.
Well, what if he found a way?
Good luck.
Do you know the way?
He's also apparently not able to travel through the floor, and yet he's disproven that theory.
It's.
He has been here for a really long time.
I simply wanted to express that from my knowledge of him and maybe my rudimentary understanding of the magic involved, I think that anyone he takes might be able to be saved.
That's the goal.
This is all I wish to tell you, but apart from that, I look forward to meeting you, Gurgo.
Iterex, Maria, the rest.
That's a weird
Are
thing
you coming,
considering
or are
I've
you
already spent my whole life knowing you. But yeah.
He smiles and he says, I hope it was a good life.
Well, I mean, I'm still alive, so yes.
Wonderful. Well, the best of luck to all of you. Which at that point, Iterex also actually says, yes, best of luck indeed.
So you're staying.
I am. I As he goes to the unconscious elf and the Furbolg, who have still yet to gain consciousness.
Maria is conscious.
No,
just FYI.
apologies. The Furbolg and the gnome that had
Dwarf.
both appeared. There was a gnome and a dwarf.
I don't think there was a gnome.
Did you guys not get the gnome?
Yes, there, no,
Yeah,
was
there
a gnome.
was.
I'm doing
He
so
barked-
good.
No,
there
there's
was a
an
gnome.
elf.
He
He
barked
only
the
said
gnome out.
two
He barked
corpses
up
came
the
out of the
gnome.
goop, a Furbolg and a dwarf.
Nope.
That was later.
Yeah,
Earlier.
where's the
Very first one was a
Very
Yeah,
first
you guys
one
got
was
the
a
gnome too.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
barfed out
very
gnome
first one was a
is-
gnome.
Very first person that barfed
Maria
out.
was the first person to be barfed out.
Yeah, Maria.
And then
was.
afterwards,
Maybe.
he turned.
Jasmine
into a goop.
also remembers the gnome. Okay, so yeah, no, 100%. It was a gnome, a dwarf, Maria, the Furbolg, are the four people that were released by him. I was like, dude. So I got gaslit by them before the session, and I thought that I didn't remember what happened last week, and now it's happening again. Okay, so
For a gnome at all, but fair enough.
whatever the case is, Idrix says, I'm going to help nurse them back, and Rocco said that he can't leave. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure that I can either.
I think, as fun as it is to meet you guys all, I think the real yous have been dead for a long time.
Well,
It has been
I hope
several
that
hundred years.
as he gestures to Rocco, he says, as you know Rocco, I hope that perhaps I made it out of here alive as well. But
I'm just saying it was many, many years. Rocco was really effing old.
well, unfortunate to say then, I'll unlikely see all of you again, so I simply wish you the best of luck. As it's good to know that at least in this future some of us make it out. I hope that in yours some of you do as well.
Before we depart, please have a bottle of my wine.
He takes it gladly and immediately opens it and effectively takes like 3 shots worth of just like a giant bottle shot from it. Oh, I've missed this. Go ahead.
So, do all of them look a little banged up?
You speaking of like
The unconscious people?
Yes. So everyone apart from Maria, who has already been healed, looks
And
like
how
they're
many-
on 1 HP. They
How
look.
many are there? Just make sure.
So there's 4,
Okay.
but not. So there's a gnome,
3 unconscious.
dwarf, and Furbolg, all unconscious.
Okay.
Maria, who looks fine.
She's fine.
Ictrix
Okay.
and Rocco. So there's 6
And
people in
Rocco's
this
probably
room.
Fine. So I'll cast Cure Wounds on Itrix and the 3 unconscious people, and just go by and effectively be giving them each my blessing.
Okay. As you go around and you give and you pass your blessing to each of them, Maria actually speaks up before you guys actually exit as well, and she goes,
15 health. I'm just gonna say that's for all of them.
yeah, that's fine. If you don't mind me asking, assuming we make it out of here, what is your group's name? I do have some influence, and I'd at least like to repay you in some way.
We're the Cubix Ascenders.
And do you know the year you're from?
712 TB.
There you go.
2025.
Tempora Bane.
I can't speak if it will make it to you, but if we make it out, it will likely be one of my descendants. But I'll try and send you something. We certainly appreciate what you've done.
Well, we appreciate it. The thought, at least.
So does this like change the past that I've had with my grandpa?
Unless the past has always been like this. And there's a reason he doesn't talk about this time.
Rogo, kind of in response to this, says, I can say my current thought process is, if I remember this, would not be to speak of it to you. Maybe in stories. Hints of adventures, but leave out who the friends are. I wouldn't want to alter your journey.
Well, I believe it's enough wasting time here. We have a Kyle to save.
Oh,
Good
I'm
luck.
still moving. I was moving the whole time. I'm just slow.
At this point, I'm going to say Gurgle actually passes the threshold for it, and you guys would watch as Gurgle effectively just and that almost that magic flowing through the air, it looks like Gurgle scatters to it. For you, moving to the outside of this hallway and looking back, you would again see the picture, but all your friends are now in it.
Follow.
Malrith to me.
Okay, so as you guys,
And she's gone.
as you guys funnel through, as you guys funnel into the tunnel,
You guys walk out and you guys just see Gurgle, and instead of like moving like he's normally moving, he just freeze frames and he's floating.
are you trying to fuck with them? Like, do you want a performance check? Are you clearly joking with them, or are you trying to mess with them?
Natural 20 for like a 30.
As you're the
Something
fastest
paralyzed.
ever, as you come back out, and
There's a
he's just
floating
like,
picture.
you watch his Gurgle completely frozen. He's like continuing to move forward, and a rock just kind of hits him, and he kind of like almost like bounces off of it.
What the fuck? Perception check.
Like I'm
25.
frozen, but
I mean,
floating
he
through
looks
the air.
frozen.
I was
I'd-
more so
I'd
looking
push
for
him.
what paralyzed him.
You don't seem to find anything. As you push him, you make a Constitution saving throw due to the slime on his skin for touch. Yeah.
That's only if I want to.
Okay.
It's
never
choice.
mind.
It's choice.
Okay. So as you
Actually,
give him a little
hold
bit of
on.
a push.
Wait a second. Hold on. Actually, I might be wrong on that. You might actually have to make Constitution saving
I'm
throw.
pretty sure it's just universal. Anyone who touches it.
I thought it was.
I might be wrong.
Are you still level 13?
He is.
Is it on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Put a level into his pet.
It's only 11.
That fails even if we weren't using my buffed version.
So does he need to make a roll if he touches you, or is it only if you choose?
I'm
pretty sure
reading,
it's
I'm
just-
reading the feat right now. Give me a second.
For the sake of this, I'm going to say that it's only if you choose. And if it's not the case, I'm going to justify it by saying that he placed his hand on your armor.
Of course. Or just use like a quarterstaff.
Yeah, just for the sake of keeping things
Nope.
moving along.
Anything that comes in direct contact with my screen.
It's not direct contact with your skin as well, though, so that is important because he would just be pushing you on the armor. So yeah, no, you're fine. But what I will say is
Actually,
you.
technically doesn't even mean. It says anytime a creature grapples you or otherwise comes in direct contact with your skin.
Yeah. So for the sake of this, what I'll say is, as you push him, you get like a reminder as you see like the mucus on the side of him just kind of like drips. Also showing to you that he's not frozen in time as you see it drip onto the floor with a little bit of almost like a smoky mist coming from it. As you figure out that he is fucking about. With that being the
Oh,
case,
yeah, Gurgle's dead. Let's keep going.
as you look down the hall, this is again a straightaway hall. Is everyone looking for Serval? What are we actually seeking and looking for?
I'm saying Serval.
Okay,
Getting
so
back
you're
to
looking for
the
Serval.
Yeah, going
I would
back to
be
Serval.
doing all three, Serval, Kaio, and specifically the perception check. Yes, it was for Gurgle. It was also to see if the Orlevel vision is still there.
The Orlevel, the tunnel that went to the battlefield, effectively, definitely seems to be gone. As you guys are currently looking at a straightaway hallway. The hallway you're looking at as well. So it's straightaway and then banks to the right at the end of it, probably about 20 feet ahead of you guys. So not terribly long, different size than the hallway from before. Also worth noting, these halls have been like 10 to 15 feet wide. It shrinks down to like a 5 by 5 foot tunnel. Probably even like to the point that those of you that are over 5 feet like are almost like kind of like ducking it.
I mean, we could just.
Yeah, but the idea behind it is like this is a very much so a smaller tunnel, and the stone changes to what almost looks more of like a dirt. It's a deeper brown, almost a mixture between mud and dirt, to where you can actually even see bits that almost at first you take for water before seeing that it appears to be sand dripping from this smaller cave-like entrance.
Kane, don't worry. If it's meant to be, you'll get your chance.
Usually, you have to work for your chances.
Then you're working for it.
Okay, and then so you're looking for the 3. You're looking for Serval. What are the 4 of you thinking of?
Serval, the kobolds.
Serval, kobolds. Serval. Okay. Worth noting for you, large creatures can't fit in 5x5 squares.
I will I thought they could squeeze.
A large creature occupies a 10 by 10 foot feature space.
But you can squeeze one size class smaller.
For half movement.
Yeah.
You can squeeze through spacing.
I can.
Oh no, it can. It can squeeze. It would have half movement and completely obstructs the hallway.
Yes.
So you guys would also, that would make so that you can't move through allies even. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
I'll unsummon Alwith temporarily.
And then what you really do to mess with it is you make it even a smaller hallway, and then it has to back out.
And then there's something waiting for us on the back out.
Okay, so as you guys continue to move forward, as soon as you get a little bit closer to the stone, you didn't notice it before, you being the fastest technically, as you quickly move through the hall, you realize that this energy, the magic that's hanging in the air, is not extending into the hall. And as you almost kind of reach your hand out to feel, you feel weight hit your hand. Like gravity is again hit. And you know that you would move normally upon entering this hall as well.
Anyone that's floating, you're going to fall when you go through. And
Perfect.
I'll go through it.
I'm rapidly swimming, but still not moving any faster.
Flailing in the air.
I just launch Gurgle.
This is like, shoo, this girl.
I'll go through it as well.
Okay, so you
Get
guys,
full momentum.
as you guys effectively start to single file through this, it would be a 5x5 hall. You turn around the bend to the right. As he launched you forward, Gurgle, I'm going to say you're at the front. So you're the first one that sees, as you round this corner, what at first looks to be a raptor staring you in the face. To the point that I would say you almost take a reactionary, almost step back as soon as you round the corner, take a little bit more of a cautious approach. You look at what appears to be a raptor kind of looking or almost hunched over forward, but its arms are almost as long as its legs extending out in front of it. It has four separate fingers that have almost fingernail-like claws extending from it. And then it has tendrils, 2 separate tendrils that are growing off of its shoulders. One is up and almost looks like attached to the wall, almost like it's plugged in to into the stone, or better said, the muddy dirt. The other is just kind of almost riled up in the air, faced backwards, and immediately again you have almost that cautious.
Looking at me?
It seems to be staring directly at you, but
I do a mimic of it.
it does not seem to move at all. You start to pay a little bit more attention as well. The creature seems entirely stationary, lifeless even. One might say petrified, as it appears to be made of stone, mostly blocking the hallway.
Can I?
Assume the rest of us come.
Yeah,
right.
so you guys would see it. So I would say that Gurgle would see it. You'd see him come back, and then you guys would kind of peek around, see
What
the
are you
same
staring
thing.
at, Gurgle?
I think it's more like what's staring at me. It's looking into my soul. But it's also a rock, I think.
Do you feel anything?
No. I think it's a rock. I think it maybe turned to stone. It's either a pet project of the dude in stone, or it's a creature that is now stone.
Anyone see any traps?
I'll check for traps, I guess.
Okay, so it'll be a perception check. I assume that's what you want to use.
Guidance myself, because why not?
I'll guidance you, freaking.
I'm gonna look too.
13.
13. Okay. 2 rolls total.
Good thing I'm reliable talent, so that's a 21.
That even overrides nat ones.
It does.
Rogue things. I also keep in mind for skill checks, natural ones actually don't matter. It
that's
only
true.
matters in combat. Okay, so as the two of you kind of look about, you don't notice anything immediately, but between the two of you, the only thing that you really notice is that the ground beneath this stone raptor-like creature seems almost loose. its feet are slightly sunken into the mud, and even comparing it to the wall next to it, it looks like almost like it could be maybe a pit, but the fact that it's standing on it and hasn't fallen through it means it wouldn't function like a normal pitfall. But there's definitely something off with the ground underneath the creature. And then in a similar fashion, as you kind of get little glimpses through it, as the hall continues to go on before it tees, you can see that periodically on the floor, some patches on the wall, it almost looks like someone's done like a mud covering over something.
Can I put weight on the raptor to see if like just more
So
weight?
do you want to approach the raptor then? I kind of had you guys stopping at the bend.
I guess one
How far
question
away is it
before
from the
we
bend?
do that. Normal movement right now.
Yes. So as soon as you guys entered this, you return to your normal movement. It's no longer
Now I'm
this
faster than you
intellect.
again, Zephyr.
I mean, that's fine. I was getting a headache anyways, moving all of you.
It's about 20 feet to the raptor as soon as you round the bend.
Do we want Gurgle to look at it? He's a little more spry on his feet.
You know what's also cool about me? I jump up and stick to the roof.
I start walking.
I just wanted to try applying pressure to it.
Important-
Additional weight.
Important note for this, just the reason I was giving the clarification around the creature. This creature is blocking the hallway. It is a large creature that is in stone, and like there's very small spaces
effectively
between
Does
it.
it look like
there.
it was in movement and then stoned?
Or like it was
Or like it
grown
was
out of.
investigating something and it was stoned? Or like it was growing
what kind
out
of
of that
It
Oh,
looks like it was
sorry.
hunting something. Like
Hey,
it looks like it was sprinting down this hallway. Like it looks like it was almost hunting something that's where you are,
Yeah.
and then it turned to stone.
Hey, Razu, maybe
does
you
it-
could give this thing the same
Is there any
treatment you gave the
indication
lady.
that the thing that's attached to it was is like fully attached, or was it like it was touching it and then the touching point?
It looks
became
more of
stone?
like it was using it almost like like how some creatures will use tentacles or
Feeling.
antennas. How some creatures will use their antennas to almost use as like buffers or to feel for things. It looks like it almost was using it for that, and it has turned to stone.
I want to look at any part that's connected to a wall or a ceiling and see if there's anything weird about any of the parts that would be connected to a wall or a ceiling.
Okay. So as you kind of again start to take a little bit more of a glance at it, you notice that where that tendril is touched on the wall, there's actually writing inscribed into the wall. Didn't notice it till you got a little bit closer, but I assume so. Does anyone speak Elvish?
I think I actually do speak Elvish.
Kaio does.
Nope,
I
not here.
do.
No,
Clay Beekman speaks Elvish.
also Tika can't read, even if she could speak it.
So Gurgle's up next to it right now, right?
Yeah. So at this point, Gurgle's approached it. And the stonework, this raptor-like creature does not seem to be reacting.
What do you see,
And-
Gurgle?
Hold on, I need to check if I speak Elvish.
You also just pointed out because you know you have people in your party.
I
who
actually
speak
do not
Elvish.
speak Elvish. I don't know how to read this thing. It looks like hieroglyphics. There's some words on its.
At this point, I would
Tentacle.
say you recognize Elvish. Like you can't read it, but you can look at it and be like, "Yeah,
I
that's
think
it."
it's. I think
you
it's
know
Elvish.
it's some
Or
know,
s-
like
or
general,
s-
like
Sylvan,
Asian
or
languages.
some language that the pointy ears use.
You mean Elvish?
I said or Sylvan.
Does-
They're kind of probably similar. I would assume, maybe, probably,
Does anyone speak
I-
Sylvan or Elvish?
Clay Beekman speaks Elvish.
maybe like a common alphabet.
At this point.
You want to go check out the inscription?
Yeah. I mean,
Also, don't touch any.
I've had
of
to
the-
do many contracts and dealings with the elven folk as well as dwarves, so naturally had to learn their languages in order to do business. Let's see, what do we
Yeah,
have
but
here?
but don't touch the funky looking dirt.
I will not touch the funky looking dirt. What does it say?
Okay. Kane approaches with you as well as he also speaks it.
I want to do my thing where I want to try apply pressure to the raptor as well. Just definitely.
So while he's applying pressure, he's reading.
Okay. Where are you applying pressure on the raptor?
Just basically with my staff, just at the front, the closest part.
Like are you touching the raptor or are you trying to touch the dirt?
So I'm
Is
trying
what it
to so you
Push the
raptor's
raptor.
huge. I'm trying to just push the raptor down into the dirt.
Ow. Okay. So that's gonna be an athletics check, effectively, a strength to try and push it down. And
How much force?
as you make that, written on the wall appears to be it is a paragraph of some sort. It says, "I hold the past I hold the past in a still and silent form. My body does not break, nor will it bend. I'm made of what the earth has given me and stand as a monument of time. What am I?
Okay.
It seems to
Send
be
them
a
all.
riddle.
I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in the Twitch chat.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
easiest way. That's the
Did
easiest
bro
way.
just describe the man in stone?
Well.
There you go. That is what is written.
What do you say?
On the wall.
Twitch chat?
I got a 14
Yeah.
athletics.
As you take your quarterstaff and put it and start to push it down.
So it has to have a body, and a body that does not bend or break. So I wouldn't say it's a rock, but it would have to probably be a statue.
As you push down on the raptor, it does not seem to have much give.
So the ground is not like quicksand as soon as I
It
apply
does
pressure?
not
Okay.
seem to immediately
And stand
react
as
in
a
any kind
That's
of.
why I was
monument
checking.
times great end. What am I? Naturally, somebody might say a mountain, but mountains erode over time. They don't
Nothing else seems to
stand against time.
Do we have to say the answer in Elvish since the riddle is in Elvish?
I say statue in Elvish.
And then we can attempt it in Elvish as
As Kane says, statue, repeating in Elvish. Which, I'm doing this a lot. I'm doing great today. As Clay says, statue in Elvish. You watch as the raptor's head kind of almost like seems to crack as it, and the stone almost seems to start to fall off of it. The stonework around its eye almost starts to break, revealing what is a yellow, more reptilian eye.
gonna quickly
You
back
almost immediately hear like as it's like a perverse raptor, almost like crying in pain, as it almost starts to take more of an aggressive movement before the floor seems to, and it almost like it collapses. It's just not a pressure thing. As the raptor almost seems to fall beneath it, revealing the path in front of you.
Is there a giant hole in the floor?
There's not. The floor almost seems to collapse on itself, but almost it is almost more of like it sinks into the floor. Would be a better way to say it.
Does the floor still look weird?
It does still look weird.
Clay Beekman's
So Razzers, they're
gonna
genetically
leap
superior
over that
to swim
area.
in sand, right? That's part of like one of your evolved traits.
No, I don't think I was fused with a sand shark. No.
I saw you digging through rock a little while ago.
No, you saw me punch a rock. And it broke.
It's the same thing, right?
Why'd you punch a rock?
To break it.
Who does that?
Strong people.
Genetically superior beings, obviously.
You know there's tools for that.
Do you think I have them?
He's literally got blood claws.
I'm sure we can find some.
He
laying
cuts
around
himself to
somewhere.
light his
Lots of
fingers
people
on
have gone
fire.
missing.
Clay Beekman's going to use his bonus action to channel divinity, so he can use his peerless athlete ability. And I'm just going to run and jump over the weird looking dirt.
Okay, is jumping a little bit interesting
it
just due to the
does-
height of the hall.
Does give me an additional 10 feet of jumping distance. And I have advantage on both athletics and acrobatics checks for 1 hour.
Okay, the space isn't overly huge. It's only about 10 feet. So with that, you would be able to, as you guys just watched Clay Beekman kind of, he's a little bit of a running start. As you guys kind of like move to the side, Clay Beekman is able to jump over the seemingly it almost looks like tilled ground at this point.
I'll walk up and I'll tap it with my staff. Just
You tap it with your staff. It has a little bit more give than the stone, or again, it'd be more accurate to call it almost like it is dirt. It is just like very hard, almost like blocky. But as you tap it, it's got a little bit more give, but it seems solid.
I'm gonna make my way around on the edge.
It is effectively the whole floor. There isn't that much of a thing, but kind of like trying to stay as close to the wall as possible.
Dirt
almost,
by a wall will be more.
yeah, and you almost
stable.
like using the wall as a little bit of a brace. As Kane kind of almost tries to shimmy across the side, you're able to without issue. It doesn't seem to.
Tico, just in case, can you hold this rope? Tie myself off. I'm just gonna walk across it.
Okay. You tie yourself off and you hand Tiku the rope. Tiku just kind of like looks at the rope and kind of like looks at you as you. The first step's a little bit almost anxiety-inducing. Nothing bad.
Just
You
go across.
walk past. Nothing seems to
When
happen.
no one
See, that's fine.
is in danger.
Yeah, you totally aren't sweating.
Statue again in Elvish.
I was just making sure it was safe. No, I'm saying it's fine.
Tiku's gonna tuck her wings. That's what they'll come like.
Your wingspan actually would be larger than this hallway currently. Your wingspan's probably like 7 feet at this point. Tiku is definitely past the days of being a small creature.
Being big is so hard sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about
She's
it.
crossing. I'm untying myself.
Okay. When did you say you wanted to say statue?
When no one is in danger of falling.
So you're
Basically,
effectively
no one is
waiting.
on the tilled earth. After Zephyr passes, basically.
So after Zephyr passes and everyone else, so do you want everyone to pass it, or do you want to say it before everyone passes it?
I thought of it after Zephyr passed, and I didn't think to wait, so just in character I would do it as soon as Zephyr was clear.
Okay. So as you again repeat statue in Elvish, the words on the wall seem to almost crumble, almost looking like they were like added to the wall or like etched on. They seem to and fall, and the stonework on the ground actually solidifies, no longer being tilled at all.
I don't know if that did anything, but
What'd you say?
statue, the same thing.
You do actually hear that.
I heard a thing.
Could you play it again? I was not paying attention.
There was a thing.
I think he said, and I'll say in Elvish, statue.
Nothing seems to happen at this point.
So typically when we hear weird noises, that means something's coming for us. We should get going. Let's get
Caution of those spots of the wall. It seems like mud has been slapped over them, most likely hiding something.
Is there like a spike that's gonna come out and stab you when you walk past?
going. Well, someone go in front of me then, because I prefer not to be stabbed. And I'm not very good at looking for
Tiku
traps.
needs to hurry.
I'll head first.
I had left Razu to take lead because he's got that nice armor.
Rouser will also get stabbed by traps. He's not
armor
that
also
because
help
he's
with
got that
traps?
armor.
Has armor ever
Tiku's gonna
helped with
head in the
traps?
front. She's
Well,
looking,
Spike
trying to
one
get to the
should.
kobolds.
Okay, so Tiku kind of like moves up to the front.
Takes
and
the lead.
Gurgle was at the front as well, is kind of what I heard.
Wait, why is Tiku first?
Okay.
First, but, yeah.
Well, for the sake of this, I actually do need a marching order. So we're in a 5-foot hall.
We can do the thing where
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put
Tiku needs to hurry. We need to hurry.
can't be first because I'm first.
So I'm just going to have you guys line these up so that
You guys
I
are
have
just
it.
fighting for first.
What you guys'
You're just, like,
marching
shoving
order is.
each other.
Someone's missing.
No,
from that.
Tiku's happy to let
No, I'm
Gurgle
like
go
running
first.
underneath her feet. I just run underneath her feet
I'm
and then
gonna
past her.
be. Just put me behind Zephyr.
Already did.
Tiku's happy to
Yeah,
let.
keep the wizard safe.
This is just for marching order. I just need to know how you guys are proceeding. How did Rosie
We,
went up at the
we made
back?
sure. We made sure.
Because that's where he sent me.
Oh, good.
You
That's
can
good.
be wherever you want. I was
I-
just placing people.
I guess I'm defending the rear, my
Yeah,
guys.
I think Rosie in the back's great.
I was going to say, that makes total sense to me.
Okay, so as you guys
He's
start to
bringing it to the rear,
proceed,
keep the
Gurgle,
healer safe.
you're the one kind of moving forward. Remind me your passive perception.
Unless you
21.
want to make another character, I guess.
I'm actually, give me yours as well.
20.
In fact, I'm making a
13.
gnome wizard right now. Almost not.
Actually, for the sake of this, I do want to get everyone's for this.
Everyone's
for this
passive
sequence.
perception, go!
I need everyone's passive perception, real quick.
Passive.
Passive perception.
Rosie was 13.
11.
13, baby.
16.
Again, Tiku and Rosie, what was yours?
13.
I lied to you. It's actually 22.
Passive is 22.
How's it 22?
I don't think that matters a whole lot, but it is
17.
22.
How?
Tiku has the highest passive perception under these two?
I got observant recently. That's
Out of
why.
which two? Me?
At my last level, I got observant so that I could search for souls in the middle of combat.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
Gurgle, you being
I think it's just one.
Gurgle,
Yes.
you being at the front,
It's a 2.
you do notice as you continue to approach, not all of these tilled, this almost off like this off dirt seems to be hiding something. But as you continue to move forward, you look at one of them and it looks almost even a little bit more off, almost more so false. As you kind of like move a little bit closer, and for this one, rather than being dirt over it, you can see just like the very faint, almost like flap of what appears to be a covering. There's like a slight little divot, as it does not appear to be stone. It is actually covering something. And as your mage hand kind of like goes, and are you attempting to like grab it?
Does mage hand have any root side effects?
He's casting Mage Hand near it to see if it has any anti-magic.
But I am
No,
also
you're-
casting mage hand.
The magic essence, I said before the magic essence doesn't seem to be entering in here. It does not seem to be in here at all. It so for you, Kane,
So no weird funky
There is no
magic
fluctuation in
manipulation.
magic.
not only is there no fluctuation in magic, you're actually in like normal gravity as well. So like ever since you've entered here, it's been like low gravity, almost like moon-like is how I described it. It is completely normal here. You almost feel as if you're back on the surface. Okay. As you cast Mage Hand, are you just like pushing on it? Or are you trying to activate it if it's a trap?
Feeling it.
Okay. So as your Mage Hand kind of like reaches out and almost gets a little bit behind it and goes to pull it, you watch as it almost looks like a stone spike just through the hall. And just,
Zephyr, that's why I went first.
That's why I told you to go first.
as soon as the stone spike hits the other wall, it almost the sand the dirt almost seems to turn more to like a sand, almost like a creature eating this spike that seems to have come out of the wall. It kind of, and you watch as it seems to be sucked into the wall, and in a similar fashion to how the ground beneath the statue had backfilled to replace it, the wall seems to refill.
So I can peel it off again.
No, it actually seems to be stone now.
But there's still a little sand hole in this corner where the spike.
As soon as it absorbs effectively this larger, almost rock spike, it also seems to go back. It looks to almost be like that same tilled ground again, but it is solid.
Is this magical in nature at all?
Have you guys ever seen those creatures that pretend like they're like a big like
Rock formation?
formation of? It doesn't necessarily need to be rock, but just like a formation of something, like a hill or something. And they just sit there with their mouth open, and then things wander in, and then they chomp them. You ever seen that? Like a fly trap. Like, you ever seen like those plants?
Yes, I've considered
think
this
we're the
entire
fly.
cave is
This
alive.
cave is the trap.
Zephyr, could you cast Identify? on
Can
the wall?
I do a medicine check?
Oh, we gotta stop talking over each other. We're doing a lot. You want to do a medicine check?
To effectively, like, I'm pretty sure medicine's like biology. Did my knowledge of creatures see any
That would be
sign of
nature.
this?
So what you're trying to do would be nature.
All right.
Since this is
What's
kind
so fun?
of terrifying,
Faith in your own dead?
Yes.
I am going to
Oh,
awaken
baby.
spellbook, identify on the walls.
Big. That's 25.
Done. And then you were casting Identify on the wall, you said?
Yeah.
Ritual or cast?
It's the
He's speed
ritual, but I'm
casting it.
using the Awakened Spellbook to do it. So
Okay.
it takes the 1 minute.
You know of a couple creatures that can move through stone. In fact, you guys have encountered some. Land sharks, bullets can freely move through stone. The only thing with bullets that is off about those, as opposed to this, they dig through it and almost seem to eat the stone. They do not move through it freely. And even with the creatures that you can think of, or even the different like spell casting between the two of you, for pass through stone, you don't displace dirt or stone when you move through it, when you're using it magically. And if you do displace it, you will typically fully displace it. It won't repair itself. So, that is to say, if this is a creature, you are not familiar with what it would be. It is not anything, and this isn't like a, I don't know this. It's like, you at one point were a bounty hunter. You've studied alchemy. You have hints of what Squawk knows from studying hundreds of races, and you have no idea what it might be. With that, you'd think I'd have Identify memorized by now.
Gives you any spells affecting it, what school of magic, and basically the magical properties of the item.
Well,
It does tell you if it is cursed, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you what the curse is.
Correct.
if
You could have dodged that anyway, right? If you were out front.
surely. Yeah. If this is alive,
Okay.
nobody knows about it. That's probably not a good sign.
Wait, could this be titanium in an evolved form?
It does appear to be some kind of magic. The magic is...
This is not an object. This is a creature. It is currently being affected by... Where is it?
Wait, if it's a creature,
By
then wouldn't it just not
indigestion?
work? Doesn't it identify
But
only
the
with
whole
objects?
wall
It works on
is a creature.
Does it tell you if it's a creature?
Okay. As you place your hand, effectively what you do is... I know this isn't technically how the spell doesn't work, but this is how I'm going to interpret it. As you kind of like take your hand, you cast Identify. First, it's just stone. But then as you kind of like move your hand a little bit over some of that tilled ground, that is where you get the... Oh, this is a creature being affected by hallucinatory terrain.
I think we should back out.
Context as well. I'll just read this just for anyone that doesn't know it. Hallucinatory terrain makes any natural terrain within a 150-foot cube look, smell, sound like a different or natural type of terrain. Thus, open fields or road can resemble a swamp, hill, crevice. In the same way, holes could resemble a road or some other difficult, impassable terrain. A pond can be made to look like a grassy meadow, a precipice like a gentle slope, a rocky strewn gully like a wide and smooth road. Effectively, it allows it to change it in any way.
So the walls are alive.
Not
And,
not
like-
all of it.
like-
Again,
like I
like
go
you get
around. I kinda
normal
like go
stone,
around
and then it
touch it.
goes to creature.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I already said that. Why are you just telling? Why are you just copying me,
I'm
Zephyr?
confirming.
So, with my nature check,
I
and
told
I'll
you
also
we're the
know
fly.
if I
the
said
fly.
him saying it's a creature, I know that this is not a creature
Okay, I won't cast it
that is
next time.
known
I'll
about.
tell you what it's
That you
doing.
know of.
I'm just
Here,
just
let's do this.
Struggle. Here, I
Dispel
appreciate-
magic.
We appreciate you. We do.
Fair enough.
But Zephyr gave us more information than it's a Venus flytrap.
I just had it. I felt it
I
in my
just cast it at
jumps.
third level. Do I need to roll?
Yes.
You do need to roll.
Oh, that's that.
Oof.
Hold action, attack,
I'll cast
hostile
again.
creature.
Before he does it, I give him guidance.
Well, it's just
Doesn't-
dispel
you
Can't
magic.
guidance to spell magic.
Actually, I think you can. Rules is written, but I think we overruled it because it's dumb.
I like that.
I give it another go. All right.
You if you want to cast a spell again, you can.
Okay. It's just plus my intelligence modifier.
Plus your
Yes.
intelligence modifier, yeah.
So that'd be a 9. No, 11. Sorry, other way around.
Well,
11 total?
you have to at least get
Yeah.
a 13 to even match your dispel magic.
Yeah.
So,
Again.
do you want me to give it a go?
I mean, if you want to use the spell slot,
That is what I was referring to. Yes.
you can give it a shot.
I'm gonna cast dispel magic at 4th level.
Okay. The dirt that you... So that area that you cast the spell magic on just... And seems to... for a moment, it almost seems to solidify into stone, looking normal. And then you notice there's gaps in the stone here, or in the dirt. It isn't as compact and clean. There's almost small holes all throughout it. And as you kind of like look at it for a moment after casting Dispel Magic, kind of confused, you see two small eyes that appear, and then the stone kind of... And the stone reforms.
Did a mimic do
All
that?
the other dirt is still... all the other dirt that looked off seems to still be tilled. It seems that it only worked on this one spot, or one might say this one creature.
I would not say that this is a single mass. It appears that this is several dozen entities.
What the heck was that thing?
From my knowledge of mimics,
We all
would
have
mimics
things
be a
in there,
hole in
right?
the wall?
I saw eyes, but that is all.
I mean, I saw them too.
I'm just gonna start commanding my hand every time there's a weird looking spot to fly over and poke it, like jab it.
And I assume this is nothing like any of us has ever seen. Right?
None of you would have it. It's like for you, mimics can turn into pretty much any object. If you can think of it, they can turn into it. But again, the issue with running it with a mimic would be when it moves through the stone should be displaced. If there was a mimic that could move through stone and it moved through stone, it should displace the stone. It would like leave a hole. The
did.
fact that the stone is almost repairing itself.
It didn't have a mouth or anything, right?
The one that he saw had almost little holes all about it that seemed to almost resemble a mouth.
Yeah,
Almost
there were
like
dozens of them.
dozens of mouths in this single creature, this single.
Are they just watching us?
Can I do a history check to think of if this is something that a Squawkman?
Yes.
Razu, could you stab right here?
1 moment. Faith in the Dead.
History? No.
That's specifically his blood hunter class. He gets advantage.
I mean, it is, but the issue. So the issue with this is you're not using on a Faith in the Dead. You're using it on Squawk's memory. You're just trying to recall something from Squawk. It'd be more accurate to call this like a memory check, but I'm putting that into history.
23.
23. As you try to think about whether or not this is something that Squawk made, don't get any memories, no scenes, but you do remember him being scared of it. There were few creatures, at least from the few things that you've understood, that Squawk actively tried to avoid, but you remember almost a mental note from Squawk, him thinking to himself as he thinks,
Noted. Stay away from the dirt.
and you almost get this image in your head of Squawk looking at that same kind of hallway that you were looking at when you guys had entered into it.
And he's scared of the entire hallway.
And he won't even enter the dirt. As soon as he sees it, he effectively is like, wrong way. I have to find another way, and he turns around.
I mean, Razu would just be like,
No, I just had a thought. We should leave. Right now.
What's that word you used?
It means statue, but in Elvish.
Well, can you say it?
Statue. Or actually, you know what? 1 second.
So do you not say it?
1 second.
He says statue in Elvish.
No, but he said
No.
second.
He just says statue in Elvish.
I will say it. I was trying to come up with an Elvish translator and actually say it.
Oh. Okay, as you say statue, for the sake of this, you can just say statue and say that you're splitting in Elvish.
I was trying to go cool now.
I mean, cool. As you start to look around, you don't seem to see anything. But again, I wish I could turn that down a little bit. I gotta figure out how to turn that down a little bit.
That's freaky.
But you hear that's echoing through the walls as you hear like a and it almost like comes to a stop, like think like when someone's playing an instrument and it comes to a screeching halt. The sound is playing and then stops, and then following that you hear like almost like something burrowing through the dirt.
So
You hear it from the left, then you hear it from the right,
Guys, get ready.
below.
I found I'm not afraid of many creatures.
Okay.
But
hang on.
we should
Before
go.
anything happens, I'm casting one spell. Okay, this is prepare because I don't know what's gonna happen here. So I do cast.
An idea.
Specifically, I said Airlarian.
Okay, first of all, I would say everyone get close.
I mean,
So
we're all
whoever wants
right
to
next to you.
get next to me, and then I'm just gonna cast Wall of Force around us.
It's a 5 foot.
I'm making a box.
How thick is Wall of Force?
How thick?
Yeah, because
How big can I make it?
yeah, well, like,
It's 10. It's 10 by 10 foot panels.
so how thick are the panels?
I mean,
If the panel's like 1 foot, then you
it's a
could.
quarter-inch.
Okay, yeah. You could also put it underneath and above us.
Yeah. That was the plan. The plan was to cube us in a box.
Okay, as Zephyr hears it, he's like, don't like that, and casts Wall of Force around you, effectively putting you into a box. You watch as the dirt around you all seems to almost, again, get that same kind of tilled nature to it. The walls that all look sturdy, almost immediately, the dirt almost starts to like slightly crumble off of it, making it look a little bit more loose, as effectively how it looks is the walls to the right and left of you looking almost like a light brown almost fade to a dark brown. It almost looks like the dirt has become wet, as one might say about a 15-foot area on the walls around you and under you and above you. The dirt immediately starts to change. The Wall of Force, while it does not seem to be able to break through it, you almost start to hear like something is struggling, and then as you look down, you can almost see the dirt. It's rare. It almost looks like It almost looks like you see like almost like worms or something crawling in the dirt. Seem to almost like be trying to scratch against the wall of force.
Get out of the tunnel!
Yeah. You want to leave the cube?
How long does that last?
I can hold it for 10 minutes, but...
Wait, magic isn't affected here.
Maybe if it gnaws on it long enough, it'll just get tired. and go
Teleport?
well.
Magic isn't affected here. Thoughts?
I think we're being eaten.
If worst comes to worst, we can get out. Via that method.
Clay Beekman doesn't like the idea of being eaten.
Who does?
The only problem is we'll be abandoning everyone else.
I would just say people with high perception would notice, like, as I was examining it to see if there was a creature. Razu is intimidated by this creature.
That would be insight.
I don't know.
I mean, I also have high
Insight?
insight, so...
If you wanted to see, if you were
It
to
would be
notice how
insight.
someone was feeling, it would be insight.
Insight is like body language and stuff like that.
Teleport. Consider it.
If we do, we're abandoning everyone else inside the caves. Zestaria, the Kobold, Serval, Kaio.
Are we in the cave right now?
We are still within the crystal caves, I'm almost assured.
I could actually cast teleportation circle
You could.
while in the queue.
Wall of Force isn't concentration?
It is, but teleportation
circle-
circle's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just takes a minute to cast.
As you guys, sorry, I was thinking about it.
You can't. I think you can't teleport inside of Wall of Force. I think that's one thing you can do with Wall of Force.
I think you can teleport, but for my only thing with teleportation circle, you have to draw runes on the floor, don't you?
It's
Kind of.
you just have everyone shift around and stuff. It's
I just,
Not
I'm just
technically,
you can
but-
draw on a wall of force. Okay, whatever the case is, as you think about it, you're like, I could teleport. Your thought is almost interrupted. This is further down the direction you're heading, so not where you came from, but further down the direction you're heading, almost veering off to the left.
nope,
you hear
nope. Shaking that in my head. Nope. I don't like that.
you hear a
Was that Serval?
I'm sure it sounds like Collateral. Nope.
doesn't sound like collateral either.
Probably something I care about. Then
Was it Zestaria?
No, it's unfamiliar to all of you except you, TQ. You can't place it right offhand, but you do recognize that cry for help.
don't listen to it. It's trying to trick you.
Was it?
Just to inform you, anything with casting time longer than an action, it takes your concentration.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, just let me
I keep
out.
using my mage hand while I'm in the wall of force to jab at it.
Okay.
You're gonna watch your mage head get eaten.
So I'm just holding it.
Mage Hand's a cantrip,
we
yeah?
got 10 minutes to figure out
And it's
stuff.
also invisible.
So your mage hand is it like you use it to poke, and the ground almost seems to it almost seemed like it was slightly moving. You poke it and it stops. As soon as your mage hand pokes it again, the ground almost like a little pocket. The mage hand itself can float, so you guys just watch this little pocket goes and then starts to move again, leaving the ground slightly tilled behind it. And after about a minute of staying here, kind of trying to figure out what to do, the ground near you seems to goes to the light again. Almost seems to harden in most of the places. Within about 2 minutes, the floor goes back to normal. Very
So-
few around. Effectively, it seems that whatever these things are seem to have majorly left. There's still a couple, but maybe at this point avoidable as you want to traverse this hallway.
So
but
watching
let's
them.
let's figure out a plan before I let this down. We have another like 9-ish minutes to go.
Stop saying the word statue.
I mean, it only works in Elvish, I think. So
Watching it for a minute while we were watching them, can I use Know Your Enemy?
I need you to remind me what Know Your Enemy does. You were
It
able to
lets
see
me know
weaknesses.
their immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities.
Okay, immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. It is immune to bludgeoning damage. It is immune to the petrified condition. It is immune to the restrained condition. It is resistant to attacks from non-magical weapons, and it is immune to fire.
I feel like how she does this is she actually communes with a soul that's just like lingering.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, actually. The way that I'll say that,
killed by these things.
the way that I'll interpret that is, you felt souls almost lost down here since you entered, and that's continued to happen. And effectively, as you almost like communing with one of those souls, you're able to you're not to the point that you can pull that soul or save it, but almost like as if you were seeking help. The soul almost whispers to you the struggles they had of its immunities to bludgeoning, to fire.
I changed my blood right to cold.
Non-magical fire, bludgeoning. What else?
Petrified, restrained.
I'm pretty sure it's just. I don't think it's non-magical. I'm pretty sure it's immune to those.
Yeah, that's what she's.
It's immune to petrify. It's immune to restrain. It's immune to fire. It's immune to bludgeoning, and then effectively resistant to piercing and slashing.
It's not immune to poison.
It is immune to poison.
Okay. Like this is for sure a construct of some sort.
It is for sure immune to poison.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a thing.
Is it resistant to slashing and piercing, or is it non-magical weapons?
You know its weaknesses, if any, is what it says.
Vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Does it specifically state vulnerabilities, or does it say weaknesses?
So vulnerability is the damage type it takes double from.
and vulnerabilities.
So yeah, it's just what
You can
damage
discern
type you want.
certain strengths and weaknesses of the creatures you can see within 30 feet of yourself. You know if they have any immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, any damage type it's vulnerable to.
It says both.
Oh, I know it says
Well,
both.
say
She would also
weaknesses.
know like what kind of things could affect it,
Yeah.
right? Like, can
Yeah,
it
so
be paralyzed? Right?
Know your enemy. That's
Yeah.
what it is. I have to study them for a minute.
one other thing I'm going to say that you are also effectively informed of is that these creatures can't be killed unless you destroy their core. Which, if you stay out loud, would lead you again to believe this is some kind of a construct. Or constructs would be a more accurate term. So what's your guys' plan? What would you like to do?
Can I, with the same history check, just think of if Squawk knows where they came from?
Nope. Meaning, nope, he does not seem to.
We Serval told us about all 7 anchors. I think there was.
Is this the third anchor?
7 anchors is what he's discussed, yes.
And he told
Is
us
this
what
the
all
third
of them were.
anchor?
He did not.
Well, they're going to.
No, he told us we don't know all of them. We said that we won't be able.
This is one then.
He told.
We know
So he told you.
Baboon, the face. So we know the faceless one, the Chrono Hunter, and the Googler,
He also told you the Man in Stone.
and the Man in Stone. Yeah.
Hmm.
And we know of other creatures in here.
I thought the
but those
baboon
are
was the faceless one.
that is the first.
That's why
yeah.
she corrected herself.
Oh.
She said the baboon. Well, the faceless one.
Gotcha.
It
The
was the same
Chrono
person.
Hunter, the Googler.
The Chrono Hunter you guys have not interacted with here, but some have history with the Chrono Hunter.
And then the
What was
Man
the
in Stone.
100-handed one called again?
What?
What was? Oh, Googler. Right.
So what's the plan, guys? I'm going to start a timer for your spell.
How would we find out where this core even is?
I'm sure somewhere inside of it. Or them, all of them. I think there's a lot.
You don't think it'd be as easy as them finding or bringing us to the core? Anything it drags inside, it brings to the core.
If you can survive being crushed. I'm not sure what to do, but that whimpering out there it's
Almost assuredly a bait.
That seems to come from behind you, as it almost sounds like something hits the wall.
Who is it?
do we see anything?
I mean, yeah, we look.
Can I get out here, please?
As you look back, it seems to be coming from around the bend where you guys had come from.
Can I ready the rod,
Just-
the immovable rod on my
any
belt?
plans?
So
Anyone?
like,
I think our goal is to just run. Well,
It wouldn't be in my
ship off
hand,
the
but I could
exit.
use an action to
One at a
activate
time.
it on my belt.
The answer is you would equip it, and then it's just an action.
Yeah. My concept is like
You cannot have that and your scythe out if that's what you're asking.
my concept is it's a belt
Do you
and it's a
know
button to
dimension?
activate. I don't see why I couldn't just hand click button and it would not move on my belt effectively.
So the immovable rod, when you press it, think like an extendable stick. So it's like you have it, then you click the button. Not only does it grow to its normal size, which I believe is a 4-foot rod, it then can't move. You effectively have stored it. It effectively can shrink down. You have it stored. When you pull it out, it's almost like you extend it. That would be equipping it, and then you press it to use it. And that's what makes it immovable. So the answer to your question is no. You have to equip the immovable rod to actually use it.
Which is just an item action.
Yeah, it is an item action. It's just you can't have both of them in your hand at the same time. So you want to have your removable rod out? The answer is yes. You can also turn the heater back on. It is getting a little bit cold down here. It was hot, now it's cold.
Yeah. It's an item action to click the button?
It's an action to use the immovable rod.
Yeah, so it's an item action to pull it out, an action to use it.
Yes.
It only really matters if you're in combat. You just can't use the immovable rod and then also you couldn't then equip your scythe and attack at the same time. For the sake of what you're doing right now, you ready the immovable rod. Easily enough. What would you guys like to do?
Are you capable?
Did we decide what's not going to get us eaten?
So you had stepped away. Most of the creatures seem to have left at this point.
They have.
And you guys have been in this thing for 6 minutes.
I mean, I literally you didn't have time to ask a question, but fair enough.
Ask a question.
Are you capable of casting Dimension Door?
No. The only thing I have that can get us out, which I really don't want to use, is Gate.
True.
Isn't that the scroll you picked up?
Yes, but I really don't want to use it.
Well,
Is someone capable of getting vision around the bend without leaving this safety?
don't you have a mind thing that you could move?
Do you have Mao squeezed in the hallway, or did you desummon her?
desummoned her.
I thought I heard that. I just wanted to make sure.
No.
I thought that's what you did. I just
I
needed to.
might be able to do it, but let me see if I've
Your
ever used
manifest
it.
mind would probably work.
Yeah, but it might be on cooldown. Apparently, I closed my character sheet.
Would you say it's dark?
We need to go.
In this cave, dim light. Where the light is coming from, you don't know though.
Do I have manifest mind?
It's not coming from the
This-
crystal.
again,
Oh, he's-
Tiku, you hear another one. This one.
While he's looking,
Okay, so I do have manifest mind.
I want to walk up to the edge of the force cage and basically tap the ground, see if it's hard.
So force cage is solid, and as he had boxed you in,
Oh, you made it a pure square?
and he
Yeah,
boxed you
I
guys.
cubed us in.
Yeah, he literally boxed you in, so you would not be
I
able to
thought you
feel any
left
of
the
this.
ends
Why
open.
would we're the
Yeah.
Cubix Ascenders? Why would he choose any other shape?
Can I sit down?
Technically, it would be a rectangle.
Can I sit down and like
Real long one,
listen
too.
and see if I can hear what anything the souls are saying?
Go ahead and make a.
Just
I mean,
like
it's gonna be survive. It's gonna
what
be the
this
survival
creature
check.
is.
I just want to come up with a cooler name for it. Go
what
ahead and make your survival
the
check. Is yes, you.
souls are saying or like feeling like what's going
Soul
on.
reading.
Get a feel for the area. The vibe.
Okay.
What's the vibe?
Lots of dead people.
Ooh. 29.
29. You again would immediately get the familiar sense of dozens of souls lost, many more than normal though. When you entered, you knew there were lost souls in here, and you knew that like there were potentially like hundreds down here. But there are like dozens in just this small strip of hull. They seem to be trapped, almost screaming all around you, above, to the sides, below. they seem to almost be crying. They want to get out.
I'd be really...
All of them, same, almost a singular thought held by the many, expressed as one. Of just,
How did you get trapped?
get out, must get out, must get out. There's all these things seem to want to get out.
How are you trapped?
So you got a 29. You it's hard to make out the sound as again as you're seeking through this. It's almost like you're being battered with these thoughts of escaping, of being trapped, but almost like sneaking through it. You get a few quiet, but quiet and subtle, but there when you're looking for it. Of we traded. One must replace. Always one remains. Find someone. Replace me.
We'll
so I
trade
may
you
be
one
free.
Kyle.
Oh, you don't hear this.
This isn't even them talking. This is effectively the thoughts that she seems to be pulling. You had
One
something?
must replace.
So I'm just going to cast Manifest Mind 60 feet away, and then send it down up to 300 feet, and then it's going to stop there.
Okay. Manifest mind can levitate, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And fly?
it just floats.
Okay. So you send it back down the hallway, back the way you had come to.
And I have to spend 8 turns to move it full distance.
Okay. So
I don't think we
it's starting to move back.
300 feet down the hall, did I?
You went 20, and you'd actually only be
It would
like
only be
60
like
feet.
a-
You could
yeah.
almost
Okay,
spawn on the bend.
Okay, I'm just saying like I could send it
Yeah,
that far.
You're sending it there. Did you have any questions over what I just said, real quick, TQ, before I tell him what he sees?
Traded. One must replace. One must remain.
One must always remain. Must find a replacement so that I may leave. Okay. Then for you, Zephyr, as you cast your manifest mind and it appears, you guys again hear almost like in response. As your manifest mind appears and you look and you focus through it, you can see two things that are of note. One, this dirt hallway seems to continue. It looks the exact same. To the point where as you look down that hallway with your manifest mind, it almost looks like you're looking at yourself from an off angle. It's almost like it's been mirrored at a bend.
So there's no escape?
You seem to be locked in, whatever this is.
Walking around.
In addition to that, as you hear that sound, and you almost like kind of like looking about, you see the stonework just on where effectively the halfway point would be, where it seems to mirror. You see the stone seems to be moving. As you kind of focus on a little bit more, there's a person in that stone. As you see the man in stone seemingly moves forward and then seems frustrated and moves back. And he's effectively seems to just be moving back and forth between the reflection, almost seeming trapped in his own little loop.
Okay. I want to find some of the loose dirt where I assume there's a creature with my Manifest Mind.
Okay?
Casting Shatter.
It's basically a second level version of Fireball.
Yeah, well, so I'm casting it at fourth, or no, I can cast it at second level. Yeah, so I'll cast it at second level.
Are you casting it at the man in stone?
It's a Constitution saving throw. It's 10-foot radius, spheres.
19.
Failure,
That,
actually.
No, actually, that saves because it's a
Oh,
clerical
sorry,
spell.
not 19. 9.
9. Okay, it's a clerical spell, so it's a lot lower save.
Oh, you have a lot lower DC?
Yeah, on that one. But so I mean, it
Construct has
fails.
disadvantage on the same.
Oh yeah. Constructs have disadvantage. Yeah, sorry.
Still a 9.
So-
First one was lower.
Find the replacement.
So it takes 3d8 thunder damage. Whatever this thing is. So it's 18
Okay.
thunder damage.
as you-
Um,
As you cast Shatter through your manifest mind. Its hand almost like kind of going a little bit closer to the ground, not quite touching as it is a ranged spell. Almost like a mini earthquake sent into the stone. It could, and the ground almost seems to break into pieces before hardening back into stone. The dark, almost tilled nature to it does seem to fade away. In addition to that, the creatures, again, like that dark, almost like tilled dirt that seems to represent these creatures, almost seems to pull away from it. Kind of seems to move up the walls before fading into the dirt. And it almost makes like, we'll say about a 10-foot stretch where all the creatures seem to move away from it.
They don't seem to be very ambitious.
It seems like if something actually can hurt them, they flee.
What are they waiting for? I mean, other than me to drop this thing.
Are you capable of dispelling this mirror dimension?
I have no idea what's going on here. It's
Neither do
hallucination again.
Your wall of force would be about to come
Can,
down.
can I do an investigation, try to see if this is an illusion? Try to see through it?
I mean, they use hallucinatory terrains.
Investigation, so that's a 22.
22. It does not appear to be an illusion as you start to investigate with your manifest mind, and kind of like moving forward as well, as you kind of start to, you almost have it round the bend going back, and you guys watch as your manifest mind walks out in front, and you are now looking at yourself.
By the way, when I investigate with this, I'm actually investigating with both of me. Because it's legit like mind meld shit. So
So again, as it kind of rounds the corner to go to see and effectively see if you could like walk through it, but literally what it would look like for the rest of you is it would be like it rounds the bend and seems to come back around. Like it would almost look like he had his manifest mind round the corner and turn around and come back.
We're trapped in here. It doesn't look like an illusion. I think we've been mold earthed into this place.
So
Wait, and there's a bend on both sides? So even if he sent it...
You guys haven't gone forward. You guys are only like 60 feet down this hall. You guys got 60 feet in, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
this
I'm
might not
saying,
be a good idea.
But so it came back the other way? Or did it come...
So basically,
Sorry.
we entered here. Manifest mind teleported here. It went down, and you're saying it basically turned around and came back.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was...
So we could still
I
go
had
forward.
imagined that
I thought it
looped
would,
back
like,
around.
No, it
teleported
did not.
and
It
came
did
on
not
this side.
loop. It
Okay.
literally like same hallway. So you guys are here. This is
Okay.
you guys came
That makes
around
more
this bend.
sense.
It went around, and then to you guys, it would look like it went around and then just turned around. But for you, as you can see it, it walks and then just continue to go. It's like this hallway.
Okay.
It's like the same. It does not
Okay.
loop. Apologies.
But we
I missed
could
it.
hypothetically go forward.
Yes.
And let me check one quick thing before I drop this. Just gotta read Manifest Mind real fast.
I'm gonna say that after you finish your next action, the spell would drop.
I mean, I was going to say we might want to discuss strategy. Is it just to run as soon as spell drops?
I have an immovable rod.
What would that accomplish?
As we saw, the hand is floating, but it didn't suck it in.
Correct.
So, if you could pull yourself up on a rod, it wouldn't suck you in, maybe.
But then you'd be strapped to that, holding onto the rod.
This is strong enough to move it.
Okay. So yeah. So I think we just gotta move forward,
I was gonna
guys.
say, I think the goal is to just go.
Okay. Well, as soon as we drop this, we run. Right? We in agreement?
Just dodge that, and that.
Yeah. Watch out for the soft earth. Attack it if you have to on the way. Okay. Ready, set, drop.
Okay, so the wall of force comes down. You guys hit and moving more quickly. I assume keeping pace with each other. You quickly move to the T to where you can go again either forward or left. As you look left, you again be at the front, Gurgle, the first to see it.
Just pick
you
a
see
direction.
what appears to be. He almost looks like a dwarf of some kind. In stature, about 3.5 feet tall, so fairly short, pretty plump, and the large beard mostly covers what is larger, almost protruding tusks, almost reminding you of like orc-like tusks, rather than going up. They seem to almost like come straight out, almost more like a mammoth is for the way that the tusks seem to breach from the hair. And even a quick glance, moving quickly, you see the beard as it kind of extends out. Those are not hair follicles. You can, even from this distance with the perception you have, notice that the end of them almost seem to curl and split, almost looking like thousands of mini, almost like snake heads that seem to be growing out from this beard's face, kind of covering up to the nose. No eyes on this stone statue, but he does have a nose. It's bald on top, seems to be wearing what appears to be a full plate mail, and has a quarterstaff. His quarterstaff is held slightly sideways, with the butt of it, again, touching the wall. There is also stone writing on the wall next to him. Do you want to go left, or do you want to continue forward, which seems to go into a little bit of a larger open room?
You guys want to go towards the
No, you
creature
just
with
make the
the
call. Like, we're running.
Oh, we're running?
Like, you just make the call what we're doing.
Left. Always left.
Is the creature with the snake jinglies, is it stone looking?
Yes, so it is completely petrified. It looks just like the raptor.
And is it large? So is it like covering the...
This one's not. Again, about 3.5 feet tall. You probably could squeeze around this. It'd be
I could,
difficult.
or everyone could.
Everyone could. It would be difficult. It'd be considered like difficult terrain, jumping over it. If you failed, you might go prone on the other side of it.
Big open room is scary, so we go towards the snake beard.
Okay,
We're just going.
You turn
We're
left
trusting
and
Gurgles,
kind of run
not
up
guiding
to
us
him.
into a death. Or horrific death.
As you run up to this dwarf, almost like holding this quarterstaff, you notice again on the wall, this time written in Dwarvish, there is writing.
I can
Are you
read that.
just trying to like jump over, squeeze past? Are you gonna stop and read? How are we proceeding? I guess would be the way to say
I
it.
would read it. Could I read it in passing?
Does Gurgle mention it?
Would you
I will
run past a book
mention
and
it
read two
if I
lines
can-
from it?
If I cannot read it.
You'd have to
Depends
pause.
on how big the words are.
The answer to your question is no. You'd have to pause to read if you wanted to.
Clay Beekman will sacrifice and pause to read.
Can you speak Dwarvish?
I
Yes,
don't
I do.
speak Dwarvish, but I will point it out. Oh, do we want to run past it, or do we want to read that real quick?
Already said stop and read.
So we stop. We all stop and read.
So you-
Looking around for something. to come
Well,
at
you
us.
guys can keep going. I'm stopping and reading.
No, we're stopping.
We're
Yeah.
grouped. We die together.
stop
what
to
it
read,
says.
and Zephyr especially, kind of like looking back, worried for these creatures. The stone it doesn't seem to be changing. If they are following you, they're moving very slowly.
Oh my gosh, guys! It says in Dwarvish. I can't believe you stopped to read this.
Do you have a copper coin?
The writing on the wall for this one says, "I can be smooth or rough, but I will always remain. Born from earth, but not alive. I am not meant to grow or change. What am I?"
A rock.
But rocks do grow, and they do change.
They grow? What?
Well, gemstones are.
Not meant to grow or change, right? That's that was
I can be smooth or rough, but I always remain. Born from earth, but not alive. I am not meant to grow or change. What am I?
I mean,
stone.
we answered the last one and it pissed him off. So
What if we got it wrong?
Smooth or rough, but always. Is it like you mean you can't be dwarven?
It's either
sense of
stone
humor?
or sand.
What defines being born of Earth?
All right.
Doesn't that mean anything on Earth?
What do
Because
you,
doesn't
what do you
everything
think it
come from
is?
the Earth?
copper coin.
Stoned? Oh yeah, that's
think
what
stone.
But it
I
says
got
not
distracted
grow or
looking at my
change. But
languages.
depending on time and pressures, stone changes
Not-
into different.
Yeah, but it says not
smells.
meant to.
Not meant is the keyword, right? And then once it grows, right, once it combines with other sediments,
Inventory.
then is it a stone anymore, or is it?
I have 7
Well, yeah, it's just
silver
a
and
different
2
type of
gold,
stone. It changed.
unfortunately. Or 7 platinum and
Yeah,
2
but
gold.
like, is a mountain a stone? Right.
Unfortunately, I'm fresh out of coppers.
Does anyone have a copper coin?
I have a copper coin.
May I?
Toss it to him. I
Okay.
generally don't keep those, but you know.
I think stone.
Or mountain.
I have to say it in Dwarvish.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
speak
telling
Dwarvish.
the
Oh,
Dwarvish person.
okay. I say stone in Dwarvish.
Okay. You just beside stone and dwarvish. The stone again seems to crack on this dwarf-like creature. As soon as the stone breaks from this one's eyes, rather than seeing that same, almost like the yellow serpentine-like eyes of the raptor, this creature's eyes are still stone even after it breaks off.
I think that raptor creature should be just called a yellowton now.
No. As this seems to start to break its head, almost like kind of bends over, and as it starts to look up at you, it again seems to sink into the ground.
With this copper coin, I basically want to toss it behind us, so that way it's sitting on the floor, and I want to keep an eye on it, and if the copper coin gets consumed, I want to cast heat metal on it.
Okay. You take the copper coin, flip it back, as, again, the dwarf seems to descend into the ground. I assume you guys are going to continue to proceed?
Yep, keep going. Quick. Gurgle, you're in front.
Okay. So Gurgle continues
Good
to
job.
move forward.
We're not dead yet.
I know, that's why we're allowed to stop.
As you continue to run forward for a moment, you hit, again, another T. Looking to the right, it seems to go straight away, but there's an offshoot to the right, so effectively another T up ahead of you, but you're on effectively the top portion of it. To the left, it kind of curves and turns kind of rounded. Would you rather go left or right? As both hallways currently seem empty, effectively. The hallway on the right, if you do to continue to go straight, curves right. So this one will go left, this one will go right if you follow it. And then there's an additional right you can take if you do decide to go that direction.
By the way, I am leaving my manifest mine like 100 feet back. So it's just always 100 feet lagging. So I see what's 100 feet behind us too.
Okay.
So spatial. So we went left, and then there's another left that goes left.
For the sake of this, I'm just going to put this out. I need to change something now.
I think he has a battle map.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way.
Nope.
Okay. I need to move all of these, actually. Is this going to be too spoilery? It's very,
For those who are curious, our DM is currently grabbing a battle map, and he's currently talking, but he's too far away from the map to be able to see.
I did not say it's a battle map. I said I need to move some stuff, and I'm grabbing something for a visual.
Oh, I see.
He's grabbing a battle map, for those who are curious. Now introducing today's sponsor, D&D.
Definitely not. Definitely not sponsored.
We ain't cool.
Alright, so we're going to put this down so we actually have a visual.
I told you.
We're sponsored by Life.
Chill! It moved, though.
By the great chances of us existing.
I think I'm currently just gonna use Gurgle.
I was gonna say we can just have our order right here.
We're gonna do Gurgle.
Oh, our camera died.
You guys head run up to.
Does Gurgle represent the whole party then?
Right now. Gurgle is at the front of the.
You should
Go
left. So
I'm
sure I'm not there.
You are correct. This is the right turn as well. I did slightly misinterpret that.
So we're like right here.
Yeah, so you're a little bit further back. We're going to say you scouted that. And then you have the Manifest Mind behind you. So, for the sake of this, now we got to play a little bit of a board game, I guess. Where do you want to go?
Are those actually like eggs?
We don't know.
Fireball.
I just need to know the direction you go. So you're just moving quickly.
A couple coins like right here.
I just, in my head, I was trying to keep track of like if we would turn into each other. So obviously I wouldn't know.
We've gone left once.
So I would probably go left.
Okay. So, you effectively go go in this direction. And then at this point, oh my goodness, you would see a familiar creature.
Oh, hey!
Is it asleep? Is it
Again, looking to be in stone, you see a familiar, almost rat-like.
Badger mole.
No, because it's
a
almost like
beaver.
a.
Rat-like baneling.
Yeah, for those of you that play StarCraft, that would be a very accurate way to say it. A rat or a beaver-faced, almost baneling
What?
that seems to be
Why are we
blocking
slowing
your
down?
way.
There's
Beaver!
There's the explodey boy that
What's
you
that?
that you popped. You don't remember you popped the last one.
Oh, is there a riddle near this
It
one
eats
too?
magic.
This one's written in common,
I
and there
speak
is
that
writing
also.
on it. This one says, "I can be cracked, I can be made, I can be told, I can be played."
Oh, that's clay.
Just immediately
I just say that
says
out loud.
What language was this in?
This is in common.
Common.
So,
Okay.
as he would call out clay, again the creature would start to crack. And the stonework almost breaking as it kind of starts to move again as you kind of get ready for it to drop and to move forward as the stone does actually fully break off. And now it is a battle map, as you will need to roll initiative.
Well, that was fast.
It's not a battle map, I didn't think someone was going to say it and say something instantly that was also not going to be the right answer.
Wow! That's totally answer. That is a totally acceptable answer to that riddle.
Okay. What was the actual riddle again?
I put it in the Twitch chat
Okay,
again.
did you?
That is
Okay.
so loud. I need to turn this down.
Cracked, it can be made, it can be told, it can be played. Yeah, you can't tell. You can't.
Yeah,
tell
you can't play clay.
Why is it so
You
loud?
can't what? You can play with clay.
Told.
How can you
I thought he
told?
said mold.
Nope.
I
It says, I can be
told Clay
cracked,
the
I can
other
be
day, my
made,
guy.
I can be told, I can be played.
This reminds me of the. I
Okay.
can be brown, I can be blue, I can be violet sky.
So, as this creature seems to almost crack and break, and you expect it to move down, you being at the front, Gurgle, kind of like waiting for it, it breaks, and then as a riddle is, if a riddle is said improperly, it does get an attack per the nature of the spell. So, it would get an attack on you. It doesn't even say it's a surprise, but it kind of reminds it effectively states it like it is a surprise round. That said, I'm pretty sure this still misses you as a 14. So if, as it breaks and you're expecting it to go down, its head kind of, and you're still able to like kind of like back up as you're quickly like, Ridddled, as this creature seems to come alive. Number to beat is a 9.
Yay, 14.
Next.
Every time I don't play a dex-based class, I always get so sad when I should go through it.
Okay, so I heard 14. Who did not beat a 9? Lower than a 9.
Thanks.
I beat it.
Okay, so you're the only one who didn't beat it.
I just read it out loud, and then Clay Beacon's like, "Glue!" And I was like,
I would like to think that he
I
said
don't
Clay
think it's
Beekman.
friendly.
Yeah, he
I'm
was
gonna,
like,
I'm
clay
gonna
me-
shoot it twice with my crossbow.
So now we actually have the map. So at this point, so technically you guys would be one up.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, what
Oh,
the
do I
fuck?
have line
How'd
of
you
sight
do
to
that?
it? It doesn't look like I have line of sight to it, actually.
I couldn't get TQ to
do
balance.
not. Gurgle reads it out, and you shout Clay, and then you just hear like a, and Gurgle's like, what? And kind of like moves back.
It's not friendly.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Guidance on Zephyr.
Okay, so using his
Well,
action.
I could cast one more
What
piece.
skill do you choose?
Wait.
You have to choose a very specific skill with the new guidance.
What skill would you like? I'm gonna say.
Oh, am I going to use any ability checks?
Would you gonna use any ability checks?
I don't think I'm going to.
Oh man, I'm confusing it with Bless again.
Yeah.
Never mind. Do I even have Bless?
Does
I do not have it.
It's in the 2024. It
What
still,
are you doing?
Still does say creature adds 1d4 to any ability check using
when you
chosen.
cast it, you have to
Choose
choose a
a
specific
skill.
ability
Oh.
skill.
That's stupid.
The-
It should have just been 1d4 to any ability check.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They really
I missed the
nerfed
first
You
part.
touch a willing
Yeah,
creature
yeah,
and choose
yeah.
a skill.
Yeah.
Yes, TQ does have a new model.
In that case, I'm going to cast Aid at second level increasing everybody's HP
Oh, is that
pool
what that was?
by 10.
My mic? I
No,
didn't.
it was that direction, Mike Sweet.
I was like,
This
I
is what it is.
So it
What are we doing? You're at the front, Gurgle.
is it temp?
Still big test,
is
where's
it temp
pass?
HP or is it
It is. This thing is completely.
Is what aid?
Unless you
Aid.
have something that
Aid,
allows you
max
to
HP.
specifically
Max
states
HP.
that you can move through it. This one is completely blocking the hole.
3 creatures.
You
within
go
range,
back the other way.
so
I'm a small creature.
I'm gonna go Tiku, Razu,
Is Gurgle
and,
actually small?
Gurgle.
Oh, you actually could squeeze through. It's two size categories larger than you.
Incorrect. As per with the squeeze rules you just read, if it is squeezing, you cannot squeeze past it.
That actually is correct.
Yeah,
It would also have disadvantage on attack rolls.
because it's effectively encompassing.
It's literally the hole.
Worth noting as well, from what you can see, it is stuck.
We would have advantage to hit it, and it would have disadvantage to hit us. Just FYI.
It looks like if it can move, it's going to be a struggle. It would be completely blocking the hole.
Don't
So
hit
I'd-
it with magic.
I think we have to go past this thing, though.
or turn around. But let's
Okay. What are we doing, friends?
I would just walk.
2, 3, 4, 5. You're 25 feet away.
So, actually, worth noting, this is why the hallway actually matters. You cannot end your turn in the same square of somebody else. So if you
someone
couldn't
needs to
get
move.
back to a square, you can't move into it.
So
Can I?
So effectively, you need to start trading with people.
This is where your turn order actually does matter, because you guys have to actually be smart with how you position if you actually want to be able to do stuff, or you're stuck.
So like Tiku could go first and smack, and then move back.
Or Gurgle.
Or Gurgle.
Does 20 hit?
20 does hit.
It's probably not worth
Are you going to be moving as well? Come.
it. Switch these spots.
21 damage, you say?
Who are you talking to?
Gurgle.
You should probably say his
And,
name.
and 7 damage.
Switch response.
You're just supposed to read his mind.
Right.
It's ugly, but I think we have to get past it. And then I'm gonna run all the way down to that hall and look down it just for scouting purposes.
Okay, so we got. You're assuming you're not disengaging?
No, he's squeezing. He doesn't get opportunity attacks.
Yes, he does. They just are made at a disadvantage.
Well, if he gets a reaction, then probably not. I still don't care. If he's attacking me at
they
disadvantage,
do. You would-
I think he'll hit me.
Okay. So, we would go 5, 50, 60. What's your movement?
70, because I'm gonna dash.
Yeah, he's got 35 movement.
70. It is going to swing at you as you're trying to run away. It is disadvantage as it is squeezing for an 18 to hit. 18 does not hit. As again, it bites at you, but it not being able to move, its head kind of gets stuck as you run away, and it kind of just can't quite make it.
Kiku,
That said,
hit it first.
as you down the hall,
Oh, what the fuck?
you see what appears to for the torso is that a human torso. Its legs kind of, as it goes down to where its legs would typically start, you see its quads almost seem to have been split and broken. They almost look insectoid for in their design. They go down to points, almost like spikes. It has two large, at first, what appears to be wings growing out of its back, but upon a quicker inspection or a more
They're
in-depth
fingers.
inspection, they're actually arms. They're smaller arms, almost looking like it has 6 separate, almost like childlike arms that have grown out of its back that are almost fanned out. Its face kind of like opens up into what almost appears to be 2 bat-like wings that have teeth just shredding all down the sides of it. opened up in a wide, almost like in a roar-like stance. Hands to the side, and then in each of the hands there's an eyeball that seems to be, again, like with it, frozen in stone. No eyes on its face as it has its two hands kind of like just gestured forward.
If this thing comes to life and says, "Hug me, daddy," then I'm fucking terrified.
Please hug me, I'm scared.
I'm done. Everybody else can go.
Tiku, hit it first.
Well,
Would you like to
Tiku
go, Tiku?
first.
Because if I go up there with my movement, I will be stuck. And then you won't get to hit it.
Well, no, she. Well,
She
Well, I
could
guess
move
she
into
could
your
move
square.
in.
yeah,
Okay,
she
I
can
guess
move
it
in a
doesn't
square,
matter.
attack, and just
Whatever.
move back. You just have to be able to move to an unoccupied spot.
That you can move into another teammate as long as you have the space to get back to a movable square.
The
afterwards.
concept is after I move in front, I can't get out of front.
Okay, so you've run up.
Schmackages. Ooh, I have advantage already.
He's always been like this. This isn't our doing.
This is how you know she wasn't part of, like, we didn't stream last campaign because I made some creepy stuff last campaign
The
too.
closest I've been will come up on this riddle because it's been driving me nuts is joke.
32 to hit.
But the last part doesn't make sense to me.
32 to hit.
You can attempt to. So just
I-
for the sake of this, if we are in combat, you can still. The words are still on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still probably try it, but like that's
So,
where I'm at right now, people.
The one thing I will say, like the previous thing that we did, where you could only say a name on your turn.
Yeah, one
If there
guess.
is an active
Prank.
source,
How do you
then
crack
you
a
have
prank?
to. It has to be made on your turn.
Same way you
What'd you
crack
say
a
yours
joke.
to hit?
32.
32 is that? Yeah, absolutely.
It's not
Damage?
it's not a phrase.
14.
You
27
can crack a joke.
on the first hit.
27.
You can make a joke.
Carry on. Carry on.
28
told.
on the second hit.
Don't understand played.
Do I want to rage? I don't think I...
Okay, the two hits for what it's worth. As Razu comes up and you take your scythe and you just carve through this
Make
baneling-like
it go
creature,
back.
and it seems to almost
Expect and play.
split and breaks and does fall into pieces.
Oh, he just kills it?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta know the answer to this still. Wait, is,
mean, you could
is this
say it
pertinent,
aloud
or I'll
still.
just say it? Like, if it's pertinent, I'll say
At
it.
this point,
Okay.
technically, combat has been broken.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and say joke just for the heck of it.
Okay. As you say, joke, the pieces on the ground that have now been separated.
And the creature comes back together and
The ground again almost seems to settle in the stone and sinks, and the words seem to pillar
Okay,
the wall.
okay, I gotta know this out of character. How is played work in this?
Because you can play a joke is
Like-
how it's supposed to be. You can play a joke on somebody.
Oh, okay. Because like that was the only one that was stopping me. Okay.
Well,
Cool.
you still got it, so it didn't stop you enough, as that was in fact the correct answer. As it falls into the ground, and you say joke, the words seem to burn off the wall. You have that almost like sense of accomplishment as you got it, and you kind of like look about, and you look to Mr. Clay Beekman, whose skin has started to turn to stone. The back of his hand seems to have almost looks like it's covered in a clay-like dirt. The sides of his
Clay.
cheeks are hardening.
I think we're gonna have to rename you to Stone. Look at your hands.
Do I make a save?
Don't mess
You
up
do
the
not.
riddles.
I'm still keeping an eye on my coin.
Okay. The coin does not seem to have moved as of yet.
What it sound?
Also,
It
it'll
seemed to
probably
have
will
been a
work.
great answer,
Oh, I thought you were just saying your
saying
own
that
name
I
again.
can't be cracked, I can't be made, I can't be mold, I can be played.
It wasn't mold.
It was
What?
told.
Told.
To-
Let's keep moving.
So you guys are split. So
Well,
Ted, do you guys want to now move to Gurgle?
Gurgle, we going that
Gargle
way, or we coming?
said
We
this
got rid of the
way.
big thing.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Okay.
There's a funky looking one
We'll
this
let
way.
him get in front of us.
Oh, it's handy.
And what'd you see down there, anyways? Dead end?
An even freakier one. It's not dead end, but there's a funky looking thing over there.
Okay. So you guys
Ranunculus.
Gurgle again. I'm just going to use Gurgle to represent you guys, and then if something does initiate, we'll move the minis back. This is again being a little bit interesting. But as you get to here, Gurgle, and you're around the corner, you see yet again another creature you've not seen up to this point. As you see what appears to be, this is actually one of the most normal creatures that you've seen so far, as this appears to be a lion.
With displacer tails?
There's a few things that are still off about it, though. As you look at it, it almost looks like a lion that is almost covered in electricity, similar to the elementals that Zephyr had summoned when you guys were on that cliff face. In addition to that, it seems to have 3 tails. And again, at first, you're just like, oh, a 3-tailed lion with almost like lightning streaks off of it. One of the more normal things we've seen down here. But again, as you start to inspect it slightly more, the snout looks off. What would normally be almost like a furred snout of a cat-like creature is instead what looks to be a human mouth that almost looks like someone has grabbed the jaw and almost like just pulled it, somehow stretching it to where the skin is actually still kind of split, and it almost, again, it looks like somehow someone had grabbed a human face and stretched it forward. The eyes look familiar in a way as well, but still a little bit different, as a single eye that has, even clearly in stone, 3 pupils rather than the 4 that the Googler had, but still off. And then lastly, what would normally be lions' tails are instead replaced by one of which appears to be a scorpion-like tail. The other almost seems to be more of a tentacle, almost quite literally looking like an octopus tendril, stretching from behind the lion. And then the last is actually the lion's tail, not centered for what it's worth. It's the one off to the left. Lastly, what appears to be those streaks of lightning that seem to be almost like frozen or stoned on the sides of it are again, upon further looking at it, are not actually streaks of lightning. They look to be almost bits of flesh. It almost looks like this thing had torn through something, and almost like in a gory sense of like tearing it, flowing, having those fly back. It almost like streaked and then froze in stone. In addition to that, its posture looks like it's eating something on the ground. And again, it almost looks like gore is stone frozen around it, which you originally took for lightning.
The most normal creature we've seen. An amalgamation of like 8 creatures.
I said at
The
first.
most normal from what we've seen, yeah.
Gurgle, that's a very long description.
Yeah, because it's weird looking.
Is there any words anywhere?
I gotta
And
get
say
a
them
little
clearly.
closer.
We don't
Also,
have
Clay
to
Beekman
answer-
doesn't get to make any more random guesses.
We don't have to answer the riddles if we can make it past.
If we can figure it out quickly, though.
Okay.
What if you just break it?
Are you going to attempt to break it, or?
We're looking for the riddle
We're
first.
hold off. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. I need to double check one thing.
This girl's looking around for words.
This one doesn't have them. Oh no.
No, it does. I'm just trying to remember.
That would be like, okay, the answer is break.
I don't believe any of you guys know this language. I'm trying to remember exactly what it's called. I apologize. I had this. and then
Abyssal?
No. It is called Bayit.
What? It's called what?
Fucking what?
It is called Bayit.
Bait it?
Payit.
That's not
Okay,
real language.
I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
does anyone know this? And everyone says no.
Yes,
So
it
I
is. It's just
start.
from an earlier edition of
I start
D&D.
ritual casting.
Sorry.
Comprehend languages.
He what?
Just
Payit. Pay it. Bayit.
this is gonna take 10 minutes in an action. So.
As you're casting comprehend language on this is where I'm going to say that you get the idea
it's,
of this.
It's cast on me.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
the thing I'm going to give you as well, as you start to cast this, Zephyr is a very well studied individual. And while there are languages that, like, there are many languages you don't know, especially as you're using comprehend languages, you would know that you at least have the idea of like kind of like how I said Gurgle would recognize Elvish as like, wait, I know this. This is like Sylvan Elvish, that kind of thing. You have that for pretty much any language, just due to how studious you are. This is completely foreign to you.
Yeah.
This is effectively almost like a forgotten tongue.
That's why I'm tapping into magic.
Okay. With that, as you are ritual, you said ritual casting
Yeah,
with the spellbook or just straight ritual?
I can only use that once per long
10
rest.
minutes.
So 10
Okay.
minutes.
So you
I'm gonna stay back here and keep an eye on the coin while he's doing this.
okay? So you guys effectively.
And my manifest mind's back there too.
So you start to cast comprehend language. You guys are keeping an eye out. During that 10 minutes time, you and technically your manifest mind as well, you'd see it, but you're not quite as focused. So you're the one who really.
Well, and it's also my perception versus his. Like
That too. As you would be, again, you're kind of focused on the coin and trying to make out or trying to pay attention to whether or not it disappears or if something actually happens to it. I tried to play a sound and my thing froze. Lovely. Woo! Okay, well,
Professional.
technology, that's not even my fault. It just stopped working. It looks like I don't even have connection to the internet. Whatever the case is, as you're looking forward, this time you actually hear what is a familiar sound. As you hear a almost sounds like someone running on stone, but almost more gravelly.
Is this the Man in Stone sound?
This is the Man in Stone sound, as you've heard it before. It seems that however he was trapped, he seems to be able to be moving now. Looking down the hallway, this would be
Watch the walls.
about 6.5 minutes in. You would see the stone on the far, or the dirt on the far wall, almost like something's growing. It starts to become stone. Almost looking like the dirt is being petrified as it starts to growing at 10 feet per round.
That's fucking fast.
oh yeah.
Don't
Shut
start
up.
breaking it.
You're out of time. We have to leave now.
All right, I'm breaking it.
I would run up
I'm just gonna break it. Like
and I'm gonna break it.
like I'm just gonna keep casting my spell for the moment until it's broken.
Okay.
Athletics check or
Is-
damage?
I'm the
Raju's-
contingency here. Like
As Raju's going to move up to try and break this stone,
10 feet per
I
round.
do
That will
need.
be on us in less than a minute.
oh, for sure. I'm just.
Yeah, it will.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just gonna keep doing my thing here, though, because
Sorry, one other thing that you notice, the creatures that seem to be hiding in the dirt as the stone is growing seem to be retreating from it, to the point that a couple times you're actually a little bit worried as it moves towards you, but you kind of like almost just like move and it almost like effectively runs past you, almost avoiding you to get away from the stone.
What happens when my coin gets passed by over the stone?
I'll get to that when it hits it.
Okay.
For now, it is going to be an attack. Just go ahead and roll for damage. You're not going to miss the stone statue. Just know how much damage you do to it.
It is a 24 damage on the first hit.
24 damage on the first hit.
I'm assuming it starts to break and become alive.
You have 2 attacks as part of your action. Go ahead and make the second one.
29 damage.
9 damage. Okay, as your spell is again coming on the precipice, it was about 6 minutes in, so you're actually on the tail end of your spell. Razu's like out of time, just runs past you and takes two.
Chunks.
Do you swing with a scythe?
Yes.
It would still be swing.
Yeah,
Takes 2 swings at it, carving into the stone. The first one hits it in the head, kind of like almost like carving through and cutting out a portion of it, almost cleaving off part of its
Can
face.
I roll to hit to see if I could like effectively cut off the head on a 20?
I'll let you try. Yeah, go ahead.
You'd also
Although
have
if you roll a
advantage.
1, then it's gonna go really poorly.
Myth. I rolled 2 20s on the advantage.
Unfortunately, that still just counts as a 20.
Yeah.
Well, can I cut off his head?
You know, it is technically a creature. Vorpal says you get. Does Vorpal specifically state limb?
Yeah, you choose the limb.
You technically decided that this is a special. Technically, Vorpal is just the head. The normal version of Vorpal is just the head unless the DM says no.
You know,
I don't think so.
I think they might have changed it. I'm double checking. Give me 1 second.
Dude, that feels so bad, kid. I hate rolling 220s. Feels
No,
so
yeah,
wasted.
Vorpal still is just takes off the head. Your Vorpal is mine. That said, with it being stone and the nature of this, I would actually still say yes. As you swing at it and just take its head off. As it again, as you take its head off, the rest of it almost starts to break and crumble. Starts to almost fall apart. Hits the ground, starts to fall into the stone. The words on the wall light up. Similar to how the runes around the door to the encampment had lit up when the magic in them was activated. As the creature falls into stone, the stone pieces start to almost like move, like they've come alive, splitting apart. You watch as the pieces in between a stone almost break, showing fingers, 4 fingers, 8 fingers, 12 fingers of what appears to be about 2 foot wide, almost palm that just has fingers outstretched from the second half of it. Appears to be it would appear to be 14 separate fingers, and in the middle of the hand almost splits and breaks as the fingers kind of and almost like pick up, and then the back of it, almost pulling from stone again, pulls and rips out what appears to be a small scorpion-like tail. As
So the fingers sprouted out of the lion corpse thing?
yes, as a bunch of these would spread.
Since
I'm gonna
I
use
crit,
the same initiative.
since I crit, hear me out. I crit on the first hit. Can I roll to hit on one of these?
I would say yes. We are going to use the same initiative,
I see how it is.
and you would get to swing on. Listen, it is. I'll actually let you guys add. I'll let you guys decide. Do you guys want to roll new initiative anytime you guys encounter one of these?
I would probably say no.
No, I think having a 9 initiative is good.
Okay. Well, that creature died instantly, and then these are all the ones that spawned.
Okay, so
Gosh,
does
did
the
we
30
gotta
hit?
bring a can of Raid?
Sorry, what?
30 hit?
Yeah.
All right. That is
Tiku.
26 damage.
Chicken fingers.
26 damage as you take your scythe and just right through the middle of one of them. It kind of like splits to where it's almost like it's 2 legs that are split out, and you just scythe right in the middle of it, just and it kind of and collapses on itself, crumbling into dust.
I killed a creature, so I used Q to bonus action swing. Does a 20 hit?
20 does not hit.
Jesus, these are high armor class.
The way that actually works is as you kill it, you almost like try to swing into the other one, and you find purchase on the stone of the second one, almost like the palm of it, and it hits and rips through the stone. And initially you think you did damage and you killed it, but then you notice it seems to have cracked itself, almost splitting in preparation for your blow. And then as soon as your scythe is gone, it kind of...
Are they all accurate?
Wait, answer to the previous riddle was these things.
Do they all occupy the same square?
No, they technically... They are individual creatures, but they can occupy the same square. So as of right now, I would say yes, they do currently.
All right, I cleave that swing. Onto the second creature.
I mean, they'd be within 5 feet. So
Don't you have
you'd
to
still
hit
be
to
able
cleave? I'm pretty sure you must hit to cleave.
He did hit the first time, so.
Yeah, but that's not the attack that he said he cleaved.
True.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. As you would not be able to cleave as you do need to hit the creature. So I believe I have 3 hands left, right? It's been 4? Yeah. Okay, so you would have 3 attacks on you, as again, when these are activated, they would get to make an attack.
And the one I hit came back together?
No, the first one you killed. The second one where you technically missed, that was the way that I interpreted you missing
You
it.
basically grazed it, dealing no damage.
Okay. They are all... So we got a natural 20, we got a 19, and we got a 21. All pretty good.
No, so all hit.
All
Can't be
hit.
crit.
Okay. So it would just be normal damage. All right. That is a total. That would be a total of 19 points of necrotic damage. That's across all 3 hits. And they are grappled to you. You are not grappled, but you guys watch as these creatures, as Razu swings at one, seemingly breaking it and shattering it, goes to swing at the other, it separates, connects, and then almost like a jumping spider, all 3 of them kind of. One of them hits you in the chest, almost wraps its fingers around your almost like your pecs. The other one actually hits your neck, encompassing your face, as these things do technically blind you when they grapple you.
Fucking xenomorph.
As it wraps around your head, as you watch fingers for you guys wrap around the back of Razu's head. The last one kind of like hits your legs, almost to the point where were it a little bit stronger, maybe it could even like bind your legs together so you couldn't move. But you being a bit too strong, noticing it, kind of like split your legs apart a little bit, and then it kind of almost like giving up, almost readjusts as you watch it, almost like skittering like an insect, kind of up the side of him, and now attached to the side of you. Unless these are removed from your body, they cannot be hit without damaging you. It's your guys' turn.
Well, you can't fireball your friends. Who can you fireball?
Worth noting, so I did look into this for the sake of this. They are effectively considered the same creature. So if you choose to avoid Razu,
No, for sure.
you would avoid them as well.
But I can.
He just did a fireball.
and avoid
Yeah,
everyone
I was
else.
just making sure you know that if you hit anything that's gonna hit them, will hit Razu unless you choose to remove them.
I say this openly, and then I cast fireball, doing thunder damage instead of lightning damage this time.
Sorry, Razu.
And then I'm only doing it at 4th level.
Only doing it at 4th.
I'm avoiding everyone else.
Doesn't it upcast to 5th level because you're armed?
You don't have to
No,
avoid
he has to
us,
choose to
dear.
use his
That
arm.
gives
His
me
arm is still an
exhaustion.
item.
Yeah,
Okay.
that gives me exhaustion.
You don't
if I
have to
use that.
avoid us. You could just like place it at
Okay, can
Razu
I?
forward.
Oh wait, he's
Well,
the
there's a
furthest
wall
forward
there.
person. Okay,
Razu
there's a
did
wall
move the farthest forward.
That would.
Oh, that's true. You have to have line of sight, and your manifest mind.
yeah, it's way back there.
Your
Yeah.
manifest mind is literally back here with him.
Yeah.
So no, you would not be able to. Your
Okay,
only point
yeah.
that you can see.
I'm not using the channel divinity part. I'm just using the avoidance part of it.
Okay. The reason that's important is just because you only can do that so many times.
Okay, so dexterity saving throw, 20 is the save.
You get to make your dexterity saving throw. They operate on your dex saving throw while they're mounted.
Or
to.
you can choose to fail it, so they fell.
I mean, after all, a 19 or a 20. So,
But like you could just choose to fail it.
You can choose to fail a save. They would effectively.
low HP. I really don't think I need to.
Okay, so you want to try to do half. Okay.
I failed.
Okay. So
Total damage.
I'll just roll it here, just to make it quick.
You only have +1 to dex saves?
It's 28.
Yeah.
Thunder damage.
28. As it goes off, so go ahead and take 28 thunder damage. As the effectively thunder blast, effectively utilizing more so the sound of it. Not only does it hit, and all 3 of them seem to almost like shatter and rip off of him. It seems extraordinarily effective against these, as they seem to just obliterate, almost like shards of dust. And
I did that as far down the hall as I could, just to try to catch anything else that might be there.
that's true. They'd
all probably also fail the dex saves too.
They have to fail the dex saves. Okay, well, that doesn't mean they're getting hit though. Okay, so as you cast the thunder, and the again you see him kind of and detonate. You have that moment of respite. You're like, all right, I got him. As you start to hear, as
I don't like that.
something is technically you guys can't see it, but that seems to be echoing from both the right and the left down the hall. In combination with that, the sound of like the crumbling of stone. Again, what are you guys doing?
What the hell is happening back
We are
there?
still.
Careful.
It's not good.
Razu, you okay?
Yes?
All right. Well, someone could tell us which way to go. I'm afraid.
Go left.
I mean, did you already go, Gurgle?
No.
No,
The only 2 people
literally,
gone.
it's
Yeah.
you and Razu.
I mean, I'm just following Gurgle at this point. So
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Technically, these are right around the bend, so it would be 35,
But-
40, 45,
so-
and then you'd see it.
and obviously bonus bonus action manifest mind follows 30 feet.
So
A cockroach?
I'll move up.
specifically asked this question. You cannot tie your movement to another. You would have to move first.
Well,
Hiram
no,
did
I'm
this.
saying I'm not moving until Gurgle moves.
Okay.
So I would
Just making
move
sure.
next round.
The only exception is you can. It's effectively holding your action. You can use your reaction if you're holding it. So you
Yeah.
can like hold your movement.
Yeah.
That you can do.
Wait. So you
Hold
could
your
hold.
movement?
It takes your reaction. It's like holding an action, but you can hold your movement. But you
Okay.
can.
Could I hold
just
a bonus action?
Which I like. I like.
Technically, no, but I would say yes.
If it
I would
triggers
say
off
that
your
if you-
teammates, yes.
So
if
as
it
long as
triggers
the
off an
trigger-
enemy,
Well,
no.
I'd say if it
right?
triggers off what your teammates do, it has to be a reaction. If it triggers off an action of somebody else's, it has to be a reaction.
No, so
Well,
all of
yeah.
them holding them would take your reaction no matter
Well,
what.
I know it
Yeah,
takes a reaction.
regardless.
Can I
It can't
hold a
save a
bonus
bonus
action to do
action.
something I could only do on a bonus action?
Technically, the answer is no. Technically, you can hold a movement or you can hold an action.
I don't even think you can hold your movement normally.
No, you
I
can't.
think you can.
You
actually.
hold your action to dash as a reaction.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
It's technically it's your.
Well, you can hold your reaction. You can hold your movement as long as you're willing to use your reaction to do it.
And I don't mind us doing the hold the bonus action thing as long as we don't find
I-
something that's
I
exploitable.
don't either.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm going to say yes. But this is going to be like the bag
Yeah,
from last
yeah.
campaign, to where like if you take it too far, I'm like, all right, now I actually need to look at it. As of right now, I'm going to say yes.
The bag
You can
was
use your
comfy.
reaction to hold any of your three things: action, bonus, or movement. It will just use
The
your
only
reaction.
problem with that is like,
The one other thing, just so you know, even if you don't do it, this is the one caveat: you will consume whatever you do. So you lose your movement if you're holding a spell and you decide not to use the spell is lost.
You also
my
lost your
biggest thing
reaction.
is like
Bonus action.
concept like with hex reapply. When somebody kills that, I hold my bonus action to reapply my hex to something else.
That is just
pretty
a good use of.
I actually would
Well,
be
also
responsible.
Hex-
I have no problem with that. You're
Also,
losing your
Hexus
reaction,
does
you're
that.
moving
As
it
soon
over.
as your target dies, you can apply it.
No,
to
you
him.
can
It
bonus
takes a
action.
bonus
Doesn't matter.
Do it,
For
but
now,
if
the
you
answer is
held
yes.
it,
Stop.
you could do it.
Stop. The answer
before it
is for
dies.
now. The answer is yes. If it is broken, we'll revisit it. That said, that was your movement. You move up. This creature, there is writing on the wall, but the creature is already breaking free. And technically, if you are in combat,
fair.
it does take an action to read the writing on the wall.
Question.
That's not even a mechanic.
What
I did. That's
language is
actually in
it?
this.
Can we see what language it is without an action?
He describes it. Does it sound familiar to any of us?
I know the gurgle doesn't speak it.
Do the creatures take a turn to break out? What'd you say?
I'll do.
Creatures break out on a certain damage threshold. The only thing is they don't get their surprise attack on Zephyr or on somebody
Because we attacked him
they're
first.
no. It's because no one was in range.
Okay. Based off his description, I'm just gonna roll an investigation
Well, it would just be passive.
with disadvantage.
Okay. It is cold. I think I might actually not have internet.
Oh, I almost looked.
I mean, I'm just looking up. I'm trying to pull up images, but it's not.
So you can see in the, if you have Windows, the bottom right hand corner, it will show the
floating now.
window thing.
We're good.
Or the.
It took a second, but. Okay, now it's actually working. Ooh. Gargle, what are you doing?
Tagging it.
What was your to hit? 20. 20 does hit these.
They hit these. Fuck my life. Because if I hit that other thing, I get a cleave, which is 2 extra attacks.
1 extra attack.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. This one is in Sylvan, as via his description, or actually not even do his
literally,
description.
The other one was Elvish. This one's
Yeah, it would be
Sylvan.
Gurgle. He kind of like looks at it quickly and he's like, "It looks like Elvish, but it's a little bit different."
Is that one Sylvan?
40 damage. Yeah. Ooh, not bad. All right. As it's breaking free, and you whip it, and in response, and in reaction to Zephyr's thunder, it looks pretty hurt, but it is still kicking. There's your action, movement. You have a bonus you want to use? You also still have some movement if you want to move, or do you want to stay there? Okay, you have 3. How far do you want to move? 5.
To the ascending.
Dead center. Okay, so again, this is technically not visible unless you make it to the T. You guys can't actually see around those. It's just hard to actually do that.
Why did you come back?
Because I don't want to get eaten by a cockroach bug.
Okay.
Opportunity attack.
That thing does have an opportunity attack, yes, actually. So
Is it 5 feet of attack?
it does have 5 feet. Oh, you attacked it from range. No, because you have to run the corner to see it.
I mean,
Is
it's
it-
kind of a
I
round.
feel like you
Is
could
it-
stand here to see it.
Yeah, I would say you can see it diagonally. No, you're good. I would say that with the range on your whip.
Actually 5 feet there, though? Or is it 5 feet in even more?
I mean, either way.
It's 5 foot, and but the answer is with your whip, you'd be able to do it. So you're able to move back without it. It's like very clearly it's stuck and it's trying to move and it's gonna break free soon. But with that, you're able to properly utilize your range. That's Gurgle and Zephyr that have gone, and Razu. Need the two of you as they go before you. Tiku and or Claybeak. No.
I don't see.
Tiku will run up and go left.
You know there's an enemy on the left side.
Enemies on both sides, actually.
Before Tiku runs up and goes left, I would like to cast enhanceability on her. Second level. I'm going to choose strength for the duration. She has an advantage on ability checks using that chosen one.
You have advantage on athletics checks for an hour.
Okay.
Isn't it concentration though?
No.
Yes, it is.
Enhanceability?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it right now.
I'm also
It is.
looking at it right now.
Concentration one of four.
Pick wisdom or something else. Like wisdom, maybe.
She does use survival to consume souls, so that would
Oh,
actually
yeah.
be useful.
Yeah.
Also, I
feel
already have advantage on athletics.
It's like the only strength thing.
Well, then, in that case, I'll do it for dexterity.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
That's
I
fine.
feel like strength on my strength.
Dexterity. You have so that was 30 feet of move speed, just movement, just so you know. Okay.
Is it lower gravity here? So
It is
No.
not.
not.
So again, this area feels almost like you're. Well, it doesn't. Not almost. It feels like you're on the surface, just underground, kind of like that wet, almost like a little bit harder to breathe. Dank air, I think.
Dank, yes.
Would be how you say it.
Dusty.
No, stale would not have wet.
I've been in the
22.
cave. Let me tell you, hella
Natural
dusty is
20.
what it is.
21.
All are gonna hit.
That's actually incorrect. Depends on how long the cave has been a cave.
Feels like your grandmother's closet. Don't ask why it's moist.
Kill it, little big dragon.
Numbers.
That was.
It's just Tiku left.
It's actually not what I'm thinking about.
Slice it with my hand
Where's
axe.
your mind?
Tally.
It's weird. Wow.
How much damage total? Or are you still calculating?
Pretty sure she kills it.
6. Oh no. Not good.
That's gone.
5 more damage. 57 total.
All right, it is enough as Tiku rounds the corner and splits him.
In the knees?
Did you kill the cockroach?
Are you still
Oh,
an e-chopper?
As
Do you like
as a, if you want the description for these ones, because I totally forgot to describe.
Now you gotta crack their shells. And then you
Effectively,
take
what
out
you'd be
the
looking at for
insides.
those
Then
is
suck 'em
Slurp it up like
Um,
New Groove?
out. Slurp it up. Suck it.
you good. The way that these things would look is I forgot these are new creatures.
So I slice it across its whole body and then crack it.
Okay, what you'd actually be slicing through. It looks like what appears to be almost a human-like head, where the nose almost is flattened into the face, to where it's almost more of like there's two holes where its nose would be able to breathe from. But as it goes back to where would normally be hair, it's almost more of like it extends, almost like an insect-like carcass that extends for about a foot past its head before going into what is a light green, almost thin membrane. Inside that membrane, you can almost see like a pulse. And it's thin enough that you can even see through it to see it almost looks like a glowing green brain in the back of its head, about 2 feet wide, that is growing. And while it looks like a brain, it beats like a heart. In addition to that, the legs that it has, one of the less human-like legs that you've seen so far, as each of the legs that it has appears to be pincers. There we go. Sorry, English is hard. As it just seems to almost have a bunch of ant piercers on the ground that it watch on. Yes. Worth noting, you kill it before it actually gets to do anything. But as you look at its legs on the ground, as it's moving, four of its 8 legs seem to be what it's walking on. The other ones almost seem to be moving, like in beat with the pulsing of whatever this brain-like heart is, digging into the stone. With that, as you kind of slice up and then you take it and just kind of, it splits apart, and that green-like brain, the heart, this pulsing membrane, whatever it is, as you split it, it kind of, and almost like splitting an artery, starts to just and spray this green goop everywhere. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Just like to let you know, that's the shit Pacha slurps up in Emperor's New Groove.
Constitution saving throw, DC 15.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. As you know, inspiration from kind of what you just said and just Tiku, as it sprays everywhere, and you're just like, as the substance itself has it very closely, despite it being liquid and kind of almost expecting bug or insect like flavoring, tastes like you have just ate a crumbled stone. Not like the good, almost like pop rock style candy rock you've made from here, but like you just cracked a stone. You remember as a kid kind of trying to eat and seeing what you can cook with and realizing this doesn't really taste that good. But you can very clearly feel, even as you start to digest that little bit, something, it almost feels like it's getting stuck. It's harder to swallow, almost like your digestive tract is hardening in response to it. However, not more than you can, not more than Tiku can handle. You've eaten a lot of things.
It tries to turn your insides hard. Maybe not good.
Okay, I believe
Throat burn.
I believe that'd be the end of your turn. Unless I believe you have 5 feet of movement. You have 35, or do you?
No, just 30.
30. Yeah.
Who's 35? Okay, it doesn't matter. Bonus action.
He's got 35. Another bite.
Let's go.
No, nothing.
Okay, so Tiku prepares as this thing would now get to go. This would be okay for you. So you know,
Maybe this will turn edible
I
later.
need something to actually symbolize this. I might just go super ghetto. That's better than what I was going to do. I was going to put a mechanical pencil on the board and just have it be a line. One thing that I'll say
So my
that you
coin was
notice,
here?
indeed, it did not seem to fall into the stone. One thing that you notice as well, this isn't like just coming from this way. It comes out here and then spreads into this hall. So it is very clearly coming from that hallway.
Did the coin turn into stone?
No. Just the stone beneath it that seemed to harden. Okay, with that, 20.
Gargoyle, watch
Make it.
out.
As this thing, again, kind of like skittering around the corner, just almost like peeling out in the dirt, flinging dirt, as these, again, almost, it looks like the pincers beneath it almost have a mind of its own or operate independently from its legs, as it kind of like rounds the corner and goes up to where, from the one you saw before, you think it's going to go to bite you, before it kind of and just rears up and jumps. And now seeing the base of it, which Tiku is not looking at, you see what is just like a line down the middle of it which at first almost just looks like a crease before it, and teeth now sprout from its gullet as it kind of just and opens up into what is almost looks like the inside of a stomach inside, with very clearly that same green-like ooze just lining the inside of it as it kind of and is going to attempt to effectively.
You are getting attacked by the Shadow Leviathan.
Well, Gurgle is.
Okay, that is a no. This is just an attack. It's a 19 to hit. 19 does not hit. Unfortunate. As it jumps up and Gurgle kind of like, actually, how do you want to dodge it? Depending on how you dodge. How do you want to dodge it?
Duck it.
Duck it? All right, I like it. Okay, so as it jumps up, you were kind of expecting it to bite you, and as it kind of jumps up, you're just like, what? As it, and you guys, those of you in the hall would again see this open, toothy maw kind of over Gurgle's head.
For the fun of it, since he dodged it, like ducked it, it ends up on the other side of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I said, how do you dodge it? Is I wanted to know how he dodged it. As it lands on the other side, hitting the ground, and something you notice especially between you and Tiku and Gurgle, as it hits the ground, it kind of, and those pincers beneath it kind of like just like grab the stone around it, kind of, and pull in a good amount of the stone into its gullet. And again, this is like this dirt is bordering on stone for how hard it is. And as soon as it puts it in, it kind of, and all of it just and crumbles. Dirt just falls out. The pressure behind that from just like the sound and the clamp, as you hear like it would hurt.
Tika, you have
technically it's all of you.
Tika, you have another hungry customer.
I'm gonna take a step forward just to the edge, and I want to do a perception check. Can I see the man in stone? Like, is he actually the one causing this? I just want to try and confirm that, because that's what my assumption.
So you're doing an active perception check. Go ahead.
I would like to try and confirm that. 25.
25. Okay. As you kind of like are inspecting it and you look, you do see what appears to be a humanoid in stone. And as you look at him, this is from the side, so you can technically only see part of it, but you can see he almost seems to be grabbing in front of him, almost like dirt. As he grabs it, he kind of like pulls it back, and in a similar way to how the dirt seems to almost like replenish itself, as he pulls the dirt back, it seems to replenish in stone. It looks like the exact same effect that causes the dirt here to move, but somehow he's replenishing it with stone rather than replenishing it with dirt. Also worth noting, so it moved 10 feet in the round, and then you guys had initiated combat in that. It actually changes per turn depending on what he's doing. So for this one, it's actually only moving 5 feet this round. So technically it would have been their turn. So it's right here, and now it would technically be there.
Okay.
Is where it is. So the edge of that, I don't really like the circle being it. I almost do want this. I'm going to be ghetto. That's your stone line. I'll come up with something better in a little bit. With that, that's what you see. That's your action. That looks just as ghetto if you put it on the map.
I'm going to call out to him.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Of just basically,
Why don't you use a cavalry field piece?
man in stone, why are you assaulting us?
That's way better. As he's grabbing the stone, and again, it almost looks like think like someone who's trying to rip a poster off a wall, and they grab it, except for giga struggle, because he's like kind of ripping it back. As you call out to him, he kind of looks towards you, and at this point, so before you had it seen almost like crack, like it looked like he was crying. His face looks split now, almost like lightning bolts that have gone down his face and started to crack into his arms. It almost looks like he's falling apart, not just crying. Like this is spreading into the rest of him. As he looks at you, even being in stone, it's still clear to you he's looking past you. And there's nothing but hatred in his eyes. Doesn't seem interested in talking.
Sacrifice Razu.
I'm gonna just try one more. I don't know if you heard me before, but she is free.
As he's been looking at you, he kind of and almost seems to be trying harder to to rip forward. So that was your action.
Could you imagine if he trapped her in there?
I can be in the same space as him, right?
No.
This might not have been a loving relationship, at least both ways.
I 5 feet that way, so I would
She trapped him.
Keeps her in a room?
We already knew this. She trapped
Oh,
him.
you had got it.
That would be
Siren.
25,
She definitely lured him in. We figured that out.
You did figure out that the woman in stone,
Oh.
what she was literally referenced to be like a siren.
Sirens
that
are
lured
usually a
people
bad
into the stone
thing.
that fell in
She
love
lured
with it.
him in.
Well, I mean,
With that being the case, that was Kane's turn. We still got everyone else.
I will.
15 does not hit.
All right, then he gets 1 hit, and it's 27.
27 damage. He's dead. This one getting
I hit bro. We hit him with a slap.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
27.
27 does it.
More. $29.
29 damage.
Wait, the other one popped
29
on,
damage on the first one?
Kayla,
First
didn't
hit?
it?
Okay. It did seem to. It,
gonna
it,
back
ex-
up
it
and take an
expunges the
opportunity
liquid.
attack.
How bad does it look?
Easier, 1 second. 29. Why is math so hard sometimes? There we go. How far did you want to back up, Gurgle? 10, 15, 20?
Yeah, we'll go one space down there just in case it goes the whole hallway.
So, just so you know, map's obviously not big enough. It loops this way. So, both of them actually seem to do this. So this one loops to the right, this one loops to the left. Meaning, you'd assume
How
they...
far does
hopefully
it?
it's not just a circle.
It was... So that hallway in front of you is 15 feet long.
I'll just go all the way down and then check it just to see if it's a loop.
Okay. As you go all the way down and check it, or sorry, as you run down the hall and look, you are staring at Tiku. And effectively, you would be on the end of this 15 foot. This one does appear to be a loop.
Aw, shit. We gotta go back.
Doesn't come out from here, bro. No.
As Tiku, for you, you're kind of like looking forward, and you're like, all right, what now? And Gurgle, around the corner, and is now just looking at you.
Well, how bad does this creature look?
It's
Top of
bloody.
my head. Bloody. We'll use Psychic Swords.
Okay.
Is there a save or anything?
No. $36 damage.
36 damage. Okay. Do that math. Easy.
He could have taken an opportunity attack if he has one. When I walked
He
away.
would have wanted to. We did move through the turns a little bit quick, but that's okay. I'd rather that was cocked. It missed. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I reaction swing it.
No, that was his opportunity attack on him.
Yeah.
But Sentinel still procs on his opportunity attack against me.
only
It's
if
if a
it
creature-
hits. Only if it hits.
Fair. It does have to hit.
It did miss. It got a 12 to hit, just in case you were curious.
Unfortunate.
So
That's
that'd be the
it.
end of his turn, end of Gurgle's turn. 3 of you.
Tika will turn around and go kill the other cockroach.
Cockroach. That's what these are.
Go take care of your hungry customer.
I've been playing a video game with my wife, and she hates cockroaches, and one of the
Anyway.
enemies in the game is a cockroach. So, as she calls them in
Does an
Spanish,
18 hit?
the cucarachas.
18 does not hit.
My bonus action does not hit.
You haven't. Well, I guess Rozzy didn't move, so she doesn't
Not,
have
and
advantage.
Gurgle moved, so she would not.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, we forgot how to flank.
It has been a while.
I don't need the flank. I have reckless attack.
Yeah, but like flank for your teammates.
You do still need to state when you reckless attack. Like if you reckless attack, he attacked you with advantage on that opportunity attack.
Yeah, that's fine. That's true. I did
Then
forget,
actually
I
might
did
affect
forget
things
that.
here.
I did forget
17.
Miss.
Okay, so it still doesn't. So same. I told him this as well. If you reckless attack, and even if you do it all the time,
You
that. I
for
need it-
my own mental
so
wherewithal,
that you remember to attack. us
yes,
with
it'd just be
advantage.
like I recklessed. This is what or does this hit? Just
Yeah,
include that. Just easier for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Whenever he attacks you, just remind
40 damage. Very nice. It is still up. As it does look weak. Like that green ooze is almost just bleeding out of it from multiple parts. You've kind of split it down its head.
I mean,
and as something else that you notice, as that green goop seems to be bleeding down its face, where it leaves almost seems to be turning to stone in response to it.
I would also tell the rest of the group.
Turn back. It's a loop.
Turn back.
You got maybe 20 seconds.
Let's start running.
I will cast Firebolt, doing thunder damage.
Okay.
Alright, I gotta roll the hit first, actually.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Zephyr.
That is 22.
Mm-hmm.
10 damage.
10 damage is exactly how much health it has. The reason it was easy because he had 86 and then he did 36 and I was like, oh, that's easy. 50, 40, 10. You guys did its exact health. As again, as you send it off and also
I did
accidentally
27.
you did
To that one.
that was before it. So you did your
Its current
damage
health
and then it
was
went
86.
I was just saying that it worked out really well.
Oh.
As you send it again, thunder seems incredibly effective during these things. Versus these things.
The second I figured out their constructs, I'm like, where's the thunder on everything?
as you send it, it hits it, and rather than you're split and kind of spewed. This one kind of like hits, and then there's a moment where it kind of like, and just both of you need to make Constitution saving throws.
Uh-oh.
That is.
Spell effect? Absolutely
Oh, yeah,
not.
you did hit it with magic.
Yep.
We don't like that. That's a 14.
14 is a failure.
21.
21 is a success.
21.
I don't know what these
Not
things do.
21. Whatever you said.
You guys spot these things on the day I was missing.
Sorry, what?
I thought you guys spot some
21.
on the day I was
Go.
missing.
Were you
Okay.
gone?
You guys would watch as
'Cause I was
for
missing
you
one day.
Tiku, as it splashes on you and you
Exploded.
again you're kind of used to it. This time you don't elect to eat it, but as it kind of like gets on you, you kind of like
The green dragon.
or it's making the outside of me harder too. As you're able to kind of like brush it off, it doesn't get in your hands. You're like, all right, I'm fine. And you look towards Razu, who as he like kind of goes to brush it off himself, and you guys kind of watch as Razu goes, and he can't move it off. And Razu, from here down, his body hardens, and it seems to almost get coated in this yellow liquid that grows and stretches
Wait,
across
here
his
down?
body. Everything from here down.
He's now paralyzed from the neck down.
You are paralyzed from the neck down. With that, technically, that would end initiative again.
Movement. I moved back. And my manifest
Would it for
mind
the sake
going
of
to
For the sake of that,
stay behind
no.
Zephyr.
Actually, no. I agree. I am going to keep this on initiative because he is moving. We're going back to the music. Pause it. Turn it back. So that means. So you were moving, and then you.
I'm gonna move behind Zephyr.
So it's just like here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay behind him.
Okay. So we're effectively keeping initiatives.
I'm just my manifest
Because
mind
of the sake of
moving
this.
forward, but you can take my manifest mind off if you want for now, just because I don't think you really need to
Okay.
keep
So it
track
is.
of that.
It is continuing to
Oh,
move.
if you. That was technically 25, so you can technically get here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of your guys' turn if he's just moving. So this would move 5 feet this round. And then I need to roll.
He just wants to know if someone gets trapped.
It moves 5 feet forward, but at this point, because where you are, you can't see the man in stone. So you would see that, and then that would end that round. You need to make the save again.
At the beginning of turn or end of turn?
Hold it up.
Don't fail twice. I feel like there's another bad effect.
Piece of save at
Usually.
the end of its turn. Okay, so if someone else wants to try and help you, then they can try and help you first.
My turn's gonna be simple.
Chico's just gonna pick him up and keep running.
And dash.
As you move, as you're like right here.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
perception check.
He is moving. He seems to be struggling right now, like the stone won't extend this round. As he failed his check.
I will cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Can you contest it out?
You can cast?
Yes.
What?
So the
Does it have a
darkness
somatic
turning
input-
into stone.
a
It's
somatic-
not like a wall.
Does it have an S on it?
The
checking.
dirt is literally being converted into stone.
Is it a V and an S or just a V?
It is a V and an S. You cannot
Can't
cast.
use an S if you're
You
paralyzed.
cannot
This entire
cast lesser
thing
restoration
is
due to
dirt.
the somatic component.
Somatic means you have to move your hands. If you're paralyzed, you can't.
Verbal means you have to talk. M is material, so it has a material component.
Like
There's one more.
The walls
Somatic,
themselves are turned.
somatic, verbal.
I don't remember.
Verbal, somatic, material.
I swear there was a fourth.
No, there's only 3.
Oh, there you go.
I would say.
Help!
As soon as you tried picking me up, I would just say,
Just
You didn't.
does my hand feel like it's turned to stone? Or it's just cased in stone.
You feel like you're turning to stone. So the way the petrified condition almost always works, and I would say that enough of you would be familiar with this.
Pass 3 saves or fail 3 saves?
2.
2? This is even worse!
First one completely restrains you, and you're considered paralyzed from the waist down. It actually, I think, changes based on the monster. This one is after the first save, you are paralyzed from the waist down. You are still capable of speech, which is why I said it didn't freeze his head. And then if you fail this, the target then repeats the save at the end of its next turn. If the target is still restrained at the end of its next turn, it is petrified.
Oh no.
But what I'm saying is, like, hypothetically, could you break it still before it's completely in effect?
Yeah.
You can't end the restraint.
You get another save. The reason it's important that's the end of your turn is technically someone else, if they have an action, could assist you.
That was my concept. She's going to pick me up and do half movement anyway. She could just help me
So
break
you're
it.
saying if they take the
can't
help
help you.
action, he gets to.
He just said
reattempt
you
the
could
save,
help
or
me
what?
break.
No, you can't assist. The help action doesn't work on saving throws.
Oh,
it's
that's
only on
fair enough.
ability
That's
checks.
why I was asking for. Why,
if she
why
gives
are
me
you
the help,
saying
wouldn't
if
I
they
just
help
get to
you?
make
Are
it
you saying
twice?
If they
Incorrect.
cast a
No.
spell, are you saying if they cast like lesser when you say help?
Help,
You're
he
saying
means
if they
like-
cast lesser restoration.
If they have something specifically to assist with the petrification condition.
So
Or
technically,
that could, like,
technically by the
cancel
rules,
saves.
you can't assist on saving throws unless you use a spell
I
that says it
understand.
does. If you gave me a
was-
solid
I was-
enough, this is what I do to try and help him, and I thought it made sense, I'd give it to you. But you'd have to give me something that I'm like,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah, I like that. But unless you did that,
Tiku.
So he's
I lick him. I try and lick all the stuff.
That's totally in character too.
All right. With that being the case, sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to ask at the end of that?
I was just trying to clarify if there was like a specific condition of help that you're referencing.
No, it is purely like if you gave me something that I was like, that makes sense, I would allow that, then I would. It's kind of like if you did charm person, like one that I would say that you could
he's
assist
basically-
with or you could give disadvantage to a guard on. If you started talking to him and being nice to him and you effectively were friendly enough with the guard, I would impose disadvantage on the guard because he'd be like, oh, this is a nice guy, and then someone else casts charm condition. That's like a scenario that even though it's
Right.
not in the rules, I would still be like, yeah, I'll give it to you. But by the rules,
It's
just
so
him.
it's just and
Or a
it's,
spell.
And just for clarification on what it is a goo basically. That's all.
This is a goo that is causing the petrifying condition.
Okay.
Which the petrifying condition by this creature is a two fails,
Right. Got it.
2 save fail. There we go. First one starts to paralyze you. Second one turns you to stone.
Okay.
With all being the case,
Tiku will grab out her basting brush and start basting it off of him.
I'll give you a D4. She grabs it and she's like, shh, and she's like getting like that first little layer off, but
And
again,
then realizes it's not really working, and then uses the back of her cleaver and just starts scraping in the hole.
harder.
I say I
allow that
lost
to
a
give
few
it-
feathers from that.
I'll allow it to give it a
She's
D4.
literally
Effectively, she's
skinning you.
guiding you.
She's skinning you alive. Literally skinning you alive.
Listen, back in the
Isn't everybody moved though?
the shark part.
I was just-
Not the sharp part.
Tiku technically using her turn to come up and start to assist you. That is Tiku's.
Yeah.
These two already went.
Couldn't she assist me and keep moving?
Since I didn't
He
It
already
only
went.
takes an action?
Technically, it's Gurgle that still needs to go in you.
Yeah, but since it only takes an action, couldn't she keep moving?
No, because she goes and then she's assisting you. Then you have to make the roll on your turn, which means her turn's over.
Wow.
So, Constitution saving throw. You get a D4.
Would we
21?
Would it?
As
getting
she's
worried
like
about
kind of
this one.
carving it off, it's not pleasant. Like, have you ever Have you ever hit something with your shin and kind of like? She's doing that to like your elbow and down your leg as she's like, and at times it's helping you, and like she's going down she's like going down the back of your arm, and it gets it loose enough that like you go to move it, but Tika wasn't ready for it, so it's kind of like, and she like carves, takes off a little bit of the feathers, the skin, like doesn't feel the most pleasant, but it helps. With that, you're able to break it instead of the end of your turn. So that would end your turn. Was it?
You were saying that I could see that with my passive, so I just actually dashed.
Okay. Gurgle, you're the only one who'd need to move.
I assume I see nothing different. So.
1, 2,
I am going to change the music.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Zooming. So it's 15 to get to here. So this would be.
So I have
15.
100. I have 105.
I feel like,
100. 105. That's 105 from where you were. Is that what you're wanting to do?
I'm gonna do one back because I'm sketched out by that thing.
It will not move this time. You're good.
His girl was like, "You sure?" It's just gonna stop right there, and that's where we're gonna go to break. So does the break. We will be back in a moment to see if they can figure out what the hell this tunnel is and how to get out of it, or will they be caught by the man in stone?
I'll sacrifice Rozzy before that. Okay. See you guys.
Good break.
Bye.
Hello, friends. We are back. First off, Zephyr got inspiration, courtesy of Jasmine. Thank you for always hanging out. We love you. So, Zephyr being inspired again. The stone does not seem to be moving forward. My chair is not going up.
But it is slowly petrifying Zephyr and Mr. Beekman.
It's going up now, but it's.
I was going to say John Beekman.
Wow.
But that didn't seem right.
Chair's fixed. Okay, so for the sake of this, we are going to be keeping initiative.
I have a question. When the stone started moving, would you say it's when it was hit or when it was killed?
When the stone started moving.
He's talking about the stone that's on
So the
people.
stone
it's
that's
when they were
spreading.
initially hit. The
So
first
it's the first person to
them.
hit them gets the
Correct.
effect.
Effectively, whoever aggroes them.
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. That is one other thing I do need to point out. So I mentioned this to him right afterwards.
Hit you because I
But,
aggroed that one.
No.
No, you didn't.
But I failed to mention this, and this was my bad. When Razu broke the lion-like stone, he also got that same effect that Clay Beekman did from getting the riddle wrong, where he seemed to start to turn to stone. And Zephyr, upon casting his Thunderbolt, not only did he start to get the effect, it seems more progressed than what either Clay Beekman or Razu has. One might say twice as far along progressed. So it seems that not answering these riddles properly is starting to turn you to stone.
Do we know what the rough amount of time would be before they petrify?
4 or 5 tries.
4 or 5 tries of getting something wrong, or
Yeah,
4 or 5
or-
turns after you get it wrong?
No, it's not
It
progressive.
is not a
not
per turn. It's
progressive.
like every time you make the mistake, the stone starts to spread.
You have 4 or 5 mistakes.
Mistake, by the way, forgotten language that nobody knows.
He was casting comprehend language.
I was gonna say, if he hadn't ritual cast it and just used the spell slot.
stone man is stoning the world right now.
I don't have.
I just went, so I don't know who else is gonna go.
Okay. Technically, so you went and you were technically like rounding out the round. This would technically be top of the round, and
Did the dude
Stone
and I
would not
assume
move.
we're just moving. It's just people are going to be
Yeah.
spread a little bit more.
It would not have moved.
Did Spike Boy move?
Are you going?
I'm gonna
Candy?
move and I'm gonna action read the riddle.
30.
Hopefully I can.
Celestial.
I can.
Ooh, he can. Okay. I'll put this in the chat again, but it says, "We are not of earth, nor sky, nor sea. We are not seen, but we make all things be. Our power is great, our reach is vast, yet the world remembers not our past."
You might want to cough, by the way.
It was for sure stuck in the throat.
Hiram.
One more time. It was, "We are not of earth, nor sky, nor sea. We are not seen, but we make all things be. Our power is great, our reach is vast, yet the world remembers not our past."
Would you say he's within 5 feet of getting to me currently? The stone movement?
No, again, it doesn't. It's not like it's going this way. It's like, so it'd be 5, 5, 5, 5. It is slowly expanding to the point that even looking at this, the stone has not even extended into this room. He is physically or manually extending this stone. It's almost like he's converting the dirt in 5 cubic foot intervals. That's why I did this, to kind of show where the stone is. But technically, from where this splits, all of this, whatever this area is, whatever's over here, none of that is stone.
It is being converted the same way as this, but
Correct. So that is what it says. And
I call that out to everyone.
I'm just going to move people. Gurgle would just be able to make it. Oop. 35, 40. So that would be, he was right behind him. And then, assuming everyone's dashing, this is where it'd be.
How much movement do you have, Tigo? Isn't it 60 since you got wings?
No, still 30.
That would be the movement for everybody. Kind of moving. He does read out this riddle to everyone again. Written Celestial. We have it in chat. And then
Gravity, would it?
And then I need to roll for him to see if he can extend it. Oh! He rolled so low. It was such a good roll to start, as the stone has extended into the hallway, and Tiku will not have to run across actual stone. With that, you guys technically could make a guess in that round if you would like to, or you guys can attack it.
I know an answer that would make sense, but there's no way that's the actual.
Do the fates exist in your world?
We can talk amongst ourselves.
You guys, this.
Okay.
So I understand.
Do I have line of sight to handy
Dark matter
over there?
makes a lot of sense.
To
in that
hand
riddle,
through.
but it's not. It's not.
Yes,
dark matter.
you would at the end of your action dash.
That is currently just. It is currently a stone statue.
That's just a stone statue.
Doesn't dark matter make sense for the riddle?
Again, the only reason we're even like
don't
in
understand
initiative
dark matter,
is
so-
because
That's
he's
what I said.
slowly
That's
extending.
Makes sense that would be the
He's only extending. The only thing I will say,
riddles for dark
one thing
matter.
with the riddles. This is for everybody. When you're talking about yourself and you're doing it, totally fine. But I would say you have one guess as a group per round in that scenario.
I think it might be aboleths. Because they can't remember their past. They've been there since the beginning of the creation, and they're not of earth, sky, or sea because they are from the far realm.
Are you calling Jasmine the goddess of wisdom? Don't give him the answer if you know it already.
Does fate exist in your world?
You're not completely off with that, actually, the more I look at it. Like, well, sorry, I'm talking about the aboleth thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that actually somewhat fits.
I would actually know what aboleths are in lore.
Well, let me educate you.
You can message it to me on Discord, Jasmine. I can tell you if you're right if you want to know.
I feel like,
Or you can wait.
It's fate
Up to you.
because like obelisks don't
Can we roll an intelligence check for Goddess of Wisdom assistance?
make all things be. I feel like fate
they?
fits
That's
that.
true.
Or
That's
a
true.
religion check?
Fate
Fate fills all the boxes, guys.
Effectively,
No, but
it'd be history.
Fae do come from the Feywilds, which would be Earth.
No, I said fate.
Oh, fate.
Yeah.
See, again, I heard mold, not told.
I mean, that's not bad either. I do like fate
it's
more
like-
than aboleths.
I think it's something along the lines of gravity.
Or
Well, gravity's on Earth. When you're in
No,
space,
no,
gravity doesn't fucking matter
No,
anymore.
No,
gra-
it does.
gravity
Of-
just
gravity
pulls
is by
towards the
every
densest
single-
object.
Matter has gravity.
You do
But
not
with
have it,
space, count a
Jasmine.
Sky.
That is not correct.
Well,
So does
Goddess of Wisdom has failed us.
I mean,
so
Could it be?
we are not
gravity's a pretty
above
good guess.
Earth?
Sky.
Does Earth?
Gravity-
Yeah,
pretty
you,
good
you
guess.
got one step of petrification.
Jasmine has one step of petrification.
You know
The
what?
Goddess of Wisdom! No!
I'm even going to message you, Jasmine.
Would it?
You're at 1 out of 4.
Could it be the
We have
gods?
confirmation it's 4 now.
Do you?
It's 4 for Jasmine,
I
anyway.
mean,
Could it be? Could it be deities? Gods? I mean, it was written in celestial.
But
but gods are
we don't
of
remember
Earth.
their past. Where did
but
they come
are
from?
seen in this world, let's be honest.
Are they?
I feel like fate's the only thing
super
that's
meta.
not seen is effectively
We've
all
seen
powerful.
gods.
Yeah, we've seen gods, but they're not like.
Race?
But we've seen elementals,
Do we go
and
super
elementals
meta
are
and have it
Concepts?
be entropy?
Concepts, that's the right word.
Let's see here.
I mean, they are seen though, and I'm pretty sure they are of Earth. They are created on Earth.
No, well, yeah. Let's see here. Not
What are you saying is of Earth?
Not the primal
Concepts.
elementals.
Aren't they like created
no,
on
no,
Earth?
No,
Is it ideas? Like similar to concepts,
an
but
idea,
just
they're not
ideas?
seen, but we make all things be ideas. Okay, that makes sense there.
dreams.
Our
A
power
powerless
is
creature
great,
reach your
which-
past, yet the world remembers not our past.
How does ideas?
It's not
pertain to
memory, it's
past?
ideas.
Remembers not our past is the weird part there.
I mean maybe because I guess
Gray
all
area.
ideas come from somewhere, and we don't
but,
know
but-
where.
But that kind of
Remember
implies that
some-
there is a past, though. Of an
Yeah,
idea,
I'm
right?
feeling
Like
fake, guys.
An origin.
I feel like fate
But
checks
like
these boxes.
it's similar to like the light bulb. Everyone knows the light bulb is not an original idea. It was based off everything before it, but no one could list that.
But that's what I'm saying is like there's a past to the idea in that
Yeah.
sense, right?
But no one remembers our past. Not that there isn't one. No one remembers it. No one could list the ideas that
Some-
came up with
I
the
mean, some-
flash.
Some
light
people
bulb.
can actually, but historians, right? Like that's a real thing.
Fine.
Like there's a reason we have a record of this
It
because
says
someone
get the
knows.
world, the entire world, so not everyone in the world could say. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
thought process.
Thoughts on saying fate?
I mean, you're able to say it whenever you
with
want.
fate,
Well, the only thing is, again, every time you guys give or guess when you're
Or
conversing,
destiny.
that's going to count as a. Would move to the
as a
next round.
turn, yeah.
That's the only thing with having the group conversation about it.
I feel like when something's chasing us, you should impose like a real life time limit on something, so that it kind of forces us to guess quicker. 'cause
This
then it
is
makes it more
chasing
fun.
us extremely slowly as
But it
as
makes
soon
it-
as Tiku makes it past
but,
this.
but it makes it more fun if he imposes a real life time limit. That's what I'm saying.
It does do that.
All right. I don't think I want to do 6 seconds because there is the consideration. Well, we'll do 30-second intervals, and it'll expand every 30 seconds.
Well, Tika's still gotta run through it, so
You're just
I
gonna
mean, you
jump.
could fly over
Well,
it.
what I'm saying is if
Oh, or
we-
wingspan.
wings can expand.
Your
if
wings
we
can
don't
expand.
guess,
Oh, yeah, I
because
don't
like
have wingspan. You
because
can
like
jump
in
it,
a
though.
real situation, if we're running
Or
away
slide,
and we're
or
only
jump
we only have
slide.
6 seconds, we wouldn't be like sitting here talking between.
Yeah, but it's fun to try to figure out the riddle.
I agree.
Riddles
But
are
I'll-
riddles.
I'll also still put a little bit on it. Again,
we got to put some.
we'll
pressure
say
on
that it
this.
extends every 30 seconds.
Fate.
I will
Do you
say-
speak Celestial?
No.
I still think ideas is better, but I'll go with wait.
So-
Gravity
okay,
also
One thing I would
good
say as
guess.
well, just so you know, I would say that you could tell him how to say the word in.
Okay,
in
I will do
language.
that because I don't think that that's the answer.
Hey,
I
I'm
don't
more
want to
thick than
take
you.
the risk.
Specifically with Razu, he could just copy it.
Yeah.
True, especially with
He's a
that.
Ken kid.
Okay,
I think gravity is a better guess, Rouser.
okay. As you call out fate, the stone starts to break. The eyes on the hands start to be revealed. One eye is blue and the other is red. As they kind of like looking towards you, you kind of
And then
It
you
starts
see
to
your own
move.
body and
and again you start to expect it to shrink down into the floor, but it does not. As unfortunately, despite the fact that you did not get it wrong, you are still the person next to it.
I know. As per initiative, I knew I couldn't move.
I don't feel like that's wrong. I feel like that checks all the boxes.
Ooh, it's an
Wait.
natural 20.
no, I think it was not. I think it was correct.
Oh yeah, no, that was still this turn.
No, you
No,
said
no,
you're
that's
not the
wrong.
one that got it wrong, but you're the one next to it, so it's attacking you.
It's attacking me.
The answer's wrong.
Pretty confident.
Is we get to go again? It's an natural 20, so it's
Freaking
definitely
gravity
going
was
to
a way
hit
better
you.
guess.
Unless someone can negate crits.
All right, what was your guess, Jasmine?
She
Gravity
gets
doesn't
time.
make all things be.
I will tell you.
Yes, it does.
Time.
Indeed.
Nani?
Gravity doesn't create
Not
things.
about guessing either.
What are you talking about? Yes, it does. How do you think the Earth exists?
No, but time you think.
It holds it together. I don't think it made it.
32 points of
that
damage.
last line is what gets me. I can't think of what matches that last line.
What's the last line?
Yet the world remembers not our past.
Gravity. Nobody
Okay,
knows what
and then-
what started gravity or how it came to be. It just exists.
This creature. Not from
do.
this one. So effectively, what that would be is as the
don't know
creature
how
starts to
matter
break,
what it-
we
its
know what
mouth
it
kind of
affects.
reaches out
how it
and
affects.
almost like
No,
grabbing
we
into
know
your
what-
chest, like
how gravity's
pulls in and tries to
created.
rip
We don't
and
know
pull
what
you
creates
towards it.
Matter.
But
We just know
as
like,
it's
spawns
currently
and
stuck
out
in
of
place,
existence.
it's unable to
Yeah,
actually
but what's
rip
the
away.
matter?
Am I
We
currently
gotta
grappled?
not talk over each other. You are not grappled.
Okay.
It does not. That said, it is. So this happened with the other one as well. It does not seem to be fully freed. It is still stuck in place. With that, it'd be your guys' turn.
I am bloody, just FYI.
Do you guys wish to attack it? Do you wish to guess again?
I mean, I think it's worth it.
Did my stone grow?
Worst that happens is I'm the one who takes it.
Oh yes, your Razu's stone.
And it's also not a bad idea to test to see if you get multiple guesses wrong because stone grows multiple times on people. I will say in Celestial, ideas.
Okay. Is it every time?
Hope that you got it wrong.
I got it wrong.
You did get it wrong. It is not every time. It is once a round. So Kane would also start. The beginnings of petrification would happen. It is not your action. Make a guess. If you guys wish to try and kill it.
16.
16 does not hit.
Then I assume 25 does. Yeah.
25 does hit.
It makes me think we have space.
I only did
Yeah.
11 damage. I whipped past him. Right around you.
Air.
Sorry, I don't speak Celestial.
It's not good.
Great.
It would be just star, would it?
Well,
Stars.
Okay, so that's your action. Do you want to move? And do you want to venture a guess on the riddle?
our reach is vast.
Okay.
Gravel, maybe, but I don't know. I don't feel confident. We'll let somebody else guess.
But no one remembers our past. That's the weird part.
That line is one I cannot compare with anything right now.
Stars would also work.
You know the passive stars.
We do, but with our characters?
Okay. Are you just moving forward, Tiku?
She's just gonna
We
jump
and
it,
that's
I
also
assume.
we as human
Just
race.
because
That's also we as the human race.
and it's potentially like riddles are based off what potentially can be known, right?
Tiku, are you attempting to just run past? So this is where the stars are attached to. You're just running past it, trying to jump it, you're flying.
Jump it. I can't fly. My wingspan is too big.
True. So you're just gonna jump it? You can just
Yeah.
strength running up and make a check. Just be fine. That'd be 30 right there. Do you want to dash or?
Yeah, I'll dash.
I mean, I'd also dash into that unoccupied spot.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go.
Unfortunate.
Oh, there's still space.
Okay, so that was the end of Gurgle, the end of Tiku's turn. Unless you have a bonus action you'd like to use.
Nope.
Okay, so Razu's
Moved
going.
up that last turn, last round.
No, you didn't. I moved everyone last round. This is where you are. You're moving here. That would be your turn.
Yeah. He moved everyone.
Sure.
There's a
You
reason I
also
was
could
in
move
range.
here if you want.
I'd prefer. Well,
That is the spot.
sure. I'd still be able to make it back.
Okay, so Razu's going to move up again as you guys have a fairly firm or a fairly crowded line. Still need Zephyr and Clay Beekman.
I haven't even gone yet.
Oh, and Kane. Yes, you're right.
I'm just gonna make attack. Basically, I'm just gonna have my hands basically half transform into draconic claws, and I'm just going to slash at it for fire damage.
Don't do fire.
For
These are immune to fire.
23 to hit. I assume that hits.
Yes.
You can cast on your enemy, and they are
correct.
pretty sure immune to fire.
So it takes 12 plus 16 plus a d8. 17 plus my wisdom, which is 20. 17 plus 22, which it cannot be immune to. It is resistant to for 11 points of damage. And then I'm going to take the opportunity attack and move back here.
It is going to go ahead and take it. 25.
What the fuck?
I mean, Andrew's a pretty handy guy. You gotta hand it to him.
True.
And this one is. He's going to use his hands this time.
And if it's only resistant to fire, it would take full
And
damage.
we gotta
just FYI.
We gotta be careful. He knows our next moves. He is a palm reader.
All right.
We're
Got.
missing all his
Only gets to make
you.
one attack. 8. You know, that's on brand. Constitution saving throw.
15.
15
You got your.
is not a success. As his hands being one of the things that have unfrozen, and it seems to almost like be trying to move and it can't. Frustrated in the fact that it can't seem to reach out to actually hit you with an opportunity attack. It kind of like just shifts its hand as it does, and the eye almost kind of like flips. The eyelid on the bottom of it almost seems to like fall slightly, closing the eye as a beam of yellow energy would kind of like hit you in the back. And as you're starting to run, Yeah, it's restrained condition, so as you attempt to run, it would keep you in place as you have been hit with the beginnings of a petrification ray. Exact same effect as before. Same one that he ran into. As you guys would watch as he and Kane just kind of freezes and goes, uh-oh. Okay. That is the end of Kane's turn.
He's got
Zephyr,
mace in his hands.
Zephyr and or Kane or Clay. Why
I'm going to forego my movement. I'm going to shoot him twice with my crossbow.
Okay.
23 and a
Did you
nat
fail the
20.
con?
Both definitely going to hit.
So you're now.
So we'll do the 23 first.
Paralyzed, neck down.
Yikers.
Kill him, Beak.
One
this
point of
one's-
lightning damage.
Much scarier than
And
the other one.
7 piercing. And then for his crit, so that would be already 10 and 16. So 15, 18 piercing. Oh, sorry. 21 piercing and 11 lightning.
Nice. Okay. As
Play Beekman.
two bolts just and peg into effectively one just hitting it in the chest, one almost like hitting into its mouth and piercing through that almost like bat-like side to its mouth as it. You're the last one to go.
How's it looking?
It is not bloodied. It is hurt. Again, it seems to be bleeding. This one seems to be bleeding a purple blood.
You guys need to give it a rant. I'm just gonna let it get around. Okay, casting blessed on everyone.
They
Okay.
So
hired
level
him.
4 blessed.
Everyone's in range.
They hired him for this dungeon because he's a handyman.
Full bless.
Okay. And that's my turn.
Okay. That is going to bring it to it. And so
Question, actually, real quick. Is this a situation where... See what's back here. No, that's not. Okay, cool. Yep, that's it.
okay, and then this.
That's my best chance of helping
Yeah,
you.
you're paralyzed in
Potentially
front of it.
everyone
If
else,
it
so-
hits you, it's going to crit you. It's going to use both of its attacks on
It
you.
doesn't auto crit on paralyzed or on restrained. It just has advantage.
On paralyzed, it does. On restraining.
This is paralyzed from
You
the neck
said
down.
restrained. That's what you said.
So it says restrained, but it also says you're paralyzed from the neck down. But it says restrained. So it has advantage, but it's not an auto crit. So it's going to attack you twice. 17 to hit.
I'm going to use my reaction to increase my AC by 5 to cause it to miss. As the flame shield almost.
Can
The
you
next
do
one,
that?
it rolled
Is that
a
somatic?
1 and a 2. Is it a somatic spell? Because if it's a somatic spell,
It's
you would
just
not.
it's not even a spell.
Okay. As despite being paralyzed, as soon as you realize it would happen, the creature itself, the way that it would actually attack you with this, by the way, is rather than biting you, which is what you would expect it to do, as soon as it hits you with the eye, it almost like kind of like leans down, like it's gonna bite you, and then all of the legs and arms on its back kind of reach out, and almost like a battering of fists, all start to swing and hit at you. That said, as you cast the firewall, it effectively making a small barrier as you just start to hear the as it hits it dozens of times. With that being the case, that's the end of its turn. It's your guys' turn again. Oh, wait. Sorry. I also need to move. Ooh, good success. And it gets to move 15.
The walls are closing in on us, guys.
It's technically not a wall. Again, that's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
where the
yeah,
stone is extending. Also, you would actually see the man in stone around the corner. He's technically in the wall, but you would see him almost like he's crawling around the corner, pulling towards you guys. In addition to that... Oh, wait, no, he can't see Razu. Technically, Clay Beekman's the only one who can actually see him right now. It's your guys' turn.
Well,
Proffer another guess.
I can
Make an
see
attack.
him because technically my Mathis mind's
Sure.
behind everyone.
Technically is here. 21 definitely hits.
$28.
28 hits, or is that damage?
28 damage.
Ugh. My marker just made the worst noise.
I heard it.
I'm gonna firebrand my whip first, and then I'm gonna do that. So add 14 more damage.
It isn't.
How much?
14 more damage.
Okay.
Firebranding my whip was my bonus action, and then that's it. That's bonus action in both attacks.
It doesn't matter, is it?
Okay, that's Gurgle's turn.
It seems too advanced of a thing. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Like,
Alright. I'm gonna move up and hit it. Reckless attack.
So the way I'm reading it is we are not of Earth, but it could be Earth.
That's a critical hit.
yeah, like I thought about
20
matter,
though?
but I'm like,
Is it the universe?
no, because we can observe the universe. That's what astrologists do.
The Big Bang?
I said astrologists. That is astronomers.
Astronomers, yeah.
I said astrologists. I'm sorry, all scientists. I apologize for mixing those two up.
For 46 damage?
Because astrologist is the like.
Astrology's study of stars.
Okay, it's looking bloodied.
So 29
Yeah,
to
because
hit.
astrology
29 hit.
is like we can tell your future based off your sign, isn't it?
25 damage.
25 damage. Okay.
Yeah. I
Bonus action heal.
like, that's a common mistake.
Bonus action heal with what?
It's astronomy.
'Cause I crit.
That's the study of. the large
Hugh's
things.
Great Weapon Masters. If you crit or
Good
kill
luck.
something, gain bonus action attack.
You said bonus action heal.
Yeah.
Hugh.
Okay.
Technically,
You definitely said heal. I heard heal.
I definitely said Hugh. It
I'll
probably
believe you.
sounded like heal. 22 to hit.
22. That's still hit.
27 damage.
It's looking pretty rough. It's still up though.
Okay. Then I would just go back to my spot.
Okay. So effectively, you'd move up, hit, and move back.
That's still an
Is this two
opportunity
move?
attack.
No, he already used that.
No, he
has
hasn't.
not.
This is a new round. He is
Really?
going to attempt to do hit. What happens if you get? I mean, I gotta roll for the ray first, or for the which eye hand he's using. Ooh, he's not using the same one. Okay, so in your case, it would be the red eye that opens up and looks towards you as you kind of like turn. You have the feeling of like a gaze on you, and for a moment it's eerie, and then hot and burning. As you would need to make a dexterity saving throw.
No roll to hit.
No.
Magical effect.
Yes. God damn.
It's 18.
18 is a success. You'd be taking half damage. Oh my god. It's 88 points of fire damage.
That's already halved.
That would be half to 44.
Okay.
On a reaction hit?
Man's got a lot of hands.
As
I mean, still should only be a hit with one hand.
as a searing fire, or it technically is fire. It is fire damage. As the eye looks to you, it almost feels like you got dropped into a fire pit. Your skin starts to burn. Your eyes almost immediately start to water, but then
My man's got
immediately
Warcaster.
they dry up and start to, and again start to burn. Your eyes feel like they're bulging and almost going to pop as you effectively what it feel like is you rapidly move through heat stroke. Is the kind of feeling you get. It's the end of Roz's turn.
Beakman.
We got
Tiku.
Zephyr, and no Clay shot. So we got Zephyr,
Then he needs to do a
Kane,
saving
and
throw.
Tiku.
I guess I will go.
End of your turn is a saving throw.
I
so-
know. I'm gonna action summon Malrith, as I assume I can see this just right here, using that kitty corner.
You would not be able to see it. It's blocking this.
Squeezed
It's
in there.
right
Is
here.
it blocking literally all line of sight?
Well, the issue is you would be able to see like right here.
Yeah. And then I'd like summon her and
Walk her backwards. Maybe.
well, because she would summon in the nearest available space.
My only issue with that is you technically wouldn't know that room opens up because you can't
true.
see into the room. You would be assuming.
She could squeeze in the space.
True. So you'd be summoning her. Squeeze would be the
Yeah.
idea, and it wouldn't be the nearest unoccupied space. It would be where you see. So you're right here, and she'd be squeezing. That'd let you do.
Technically, if I fail this save, it's better to have her summoned than not. So
So she'd be squeezing, but she could do it.
yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, now do you give her any commands before?
She's an intelligent creature.
Well, yeah, but like
She also follows your commands.
your
though.
final last wishes, in case this doesn't pan out for you. Save me.
I feel like she's an intelligent creature. She can act on her own.
Okay,
I
so
would
you're not going to give her commands. That's fine.
I do not feel like I would need to give her a command. She is
Yeah.
very
Now
capable.
it's the DM's discretion.
I mean, technically, he said I control her in combat, so
I would say not if you petrified.
fair enough.
DM's discretion.
And then I'm going to bonus action, transform into a dragon.
That wait.
How would that work?
It doesn't require anything, so it's similar to that I could cast that fire shield.
But it would push me and
No, it's
everybody
a
else.
medium-sized class. I do not.
Okay,
grow.
okay. So it's not actually bigger. Okay.
Correct.
So for the sake of this, just because we don't have that much space,
Ah, you're
You're a
such a
kobold.
cute little. You're such a cute little dragon.
I literally am.
you are a kobold.
I am just a literally. To put it simply, I'm a baby dragon.
Okay.
And now that I have a +5 to my con because of that, we are going to open.
Who wants to burn down villages? You do. You do.
What a
We're
psychopath.
gonna be sad, as that's another 15.
You got blessed. Oh no!
That was with bless. You got a 15.
So sad.
Would watch his Kane.
Gosh, he's our greater restoration person.
His Kane would harden to stone.
Probably should have tried greater
Also,
restoration.
I only have a 7th level spell slot left, and I used it. I assumed with the +7 and bless, and the DC only being 16.
Did we get a rest in the room with Rocco?
I would have said a short rest, but you also no, not even a short rest. You were spending your time trying to put the girl back together.
Yeah.
So the answer would be no. And you guys would watch his Cane would solidify into stone. He would count as difficult terrain now to pass as well.
Someone's got to carry him.
You're the only one who has a turn left. Oh, you and Tiku.
He's
You also can make a guess at the riddle. That is an option. It's up to you.
I already have two.
He looks really rough too. Again, Razu seems to have gotten him really close.
Little did Jasmine know this was my big brain play for making her feel guilty for not inspiring me.
You are petrified. Hello, Daji. Thank you for stopping in. Zephyr? I was doing Tiku and Zephyr together, and I came out with Zephyr. Tiku and or Zephyr. You guys both need to go. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna have to stick with the firebolt doing thunder damage.
Okay.
Going to hit. That's a lot. Okay, that's 31.
They're definitely gonna hit. You're not wrong, Jasmine.
Intense. Okay, hold on, that one's a 7. And 12.
12 damage total.
Yep, thunder.
That's still enough.
All thunder.
As it is vulnerable to thunder damage.
Everything dies.
Okay.
I didn't want to attack Maura.
As you would send it in, as you would send the blast into this creature, and it, again, seems to explode. That would destroy. This is horrifying, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay. with that, again, initiative would be ended.
Tiku, grab Kane.
This Malrith
We gotta
kinda,
keep going.
squeezing her head in and looking in. It's like, what happened?
Your master got turned to stone.
She's effectively squeezing in,
Good.
biting, dragging out. How much movement does she have? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I think her ground movement, as I assume that's what she's using, is actually pretty low. Yeah, only 40 feet.
Only 40 feet. Still more than everyone.
When she has an 80-foot fly speed? Yeah.
That's all of her movement, and then she's going to drag, looking around, and you guys just hear Malrith. And she actually says this out loud. She's, oh, why is it so cramped in here? As she also seems very on edge.
Do you have like a smaller form? We're moving in.
No. Okay.
Gurgle, can you scout ahead?
So you are technically. So Tiku, you still need. You can still move.
this time.
So are you're just moving?
Yep.
I need to know this because this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
Oh, because
40.
of the thing moving
As
closer.
again, it opens up.
Left was a bit last time.
There's left, right, and forward. Worth noting, to your left, as you kind of like look over towards that, it seems to be lightly glowing, and there are words on the ground.
Language?
I can read it.
What does it look like, Tiku?
There's those squigglies that you guys say things on the ground that are glowing.
For the sake of this, you could definitely still participate in riddles and stuff until we figure this out.
Malrith.
Yeah, it'll be Malrith. I take it back, just because I don't want you to just be sitting
Right or
there.
left,
You
Trevor?
can just control Malrith, is what I'll say for this.
I'm just saying, like, Hiram gets some liberties with your.
No, that's fine. He already has had liberty. Does she understand the same language as I do? Just for simplicity's sake?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I think it's left.
Wait, that's right. The right path or the straight path? The right path, right?
We want to go right.
Where do you want to go?
The
Was the
right is
shining
the,
path,
is the
right?
letters.
So it's these. What are eggs on the map to you as you kind of like look over? They're glowing brightly enough that you can't tell exactly what they are without getting a little bit closer. And then there's words on the ground in front of it.
Malrith would glance over, see what language it is.
Does Malrith read Draconic? Of course she does. So listen. I was reading what the language was, and then I was like, of course she.
Does
Yeah.
Malrith read?
Does this dragon read Draconic? Does this dragon read dragon?
Valid question.
I mean,
Does this dragon read?
Tiku doesn't read dragon.
I mean,
so-
that's fair.
Yeah, maybe it just can't read, even though I know it can.
You can speak Draconic.
I can speak Draconic just
Speaking
fine.
Draconic doesn't mean you can read Draconic.
True story.
All right, back on
just
track
can't read
now that I've made a fool of myself.
Thanks for helping, Zephyr. I go right.
I can read numbers.
I dwell in the dark.
Look in Tiku's cookbook.
Just-
It's just hands with certain ingredients.
I dwell in the dark, but never see the light. I glow to show my path, but I am never bright. What am I?
Glow sticks?
Glow sticks are not real in this world. I will tell you right now, glow sticks are in fact not the answer.
Are you telling me that baits don't exist in your world?
Can it be a compound word?
Answers to riddles can always be. An answer to a riddle could be like
A sentence.
It could be like a whole thing.
It's
you
a
say-
concept. It could be anything.
It's a glowworm.
Or lava.
Is there a god that embodies fate? Is fate a concept in your world?
Is fate real?
That's a real thing. Is it real?
Is fate real in our world?
There are gods walking the world in this world. Okay. If there's a god of fate,
There's
it must be
glow-in-the-dark
real.
Snails things.
Bioluminescence?
Okay. With that, so technically Tiku would be the end of it. So this is why it was important.
Dude, it could be one of those fishies, you know, in Finding Nemo.
That would also mean Tiku's move.
You know what those fish are called? Anglerfish.
Okay, so with that, Gurgle, you said you just want the freaking go, right?
Down the right path.
30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Because again, you would see another fun one. As for this, the body appears to be almost that of the torso. Almost looks like a yeti. It is heavily furred on the back, kind of bare chested. I guess gorilla would probably be the better way to say it. Again, though, this one's arms are exceptionally long. The creature itself being large, and just its arms are tall enough that up to like the 5 foot span of the roof, it's almost like it's having to scrunch its shoulders. Its head kind of ducked down low. Its head seems to be that of a coyote with 2 ram horns coming off where it's normally where its ears would be, and then 2 additional horns growing from where its eyebrows are. That said, the 2 horns that are growing from its eyebrows, as you kind of pay a little bit more attention to them, you notice that they're more like smaller antennae that only appear to be horns due to the stone nature of the creature. At the top of the antennae is a small orb, almost funnily enough like an anglerfish, for the 2 orbs that kind of hang low in the air. It has human fists or human hands with the two larger arms, and then the bottom half of it appears to be that of almost like a satyr, kind of going down into goat hooves, and then it has a lion's tail. Another creature that actually looks fairly normal.
Normal. Very normal.
Fairly. Okay, with that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 55 movements. You still have a bunch.
Yeah.
Is it magma?
You want to keep moving up?
Go up so I can try and investigate
No,
if there
'cause-
works.
So that would require a dash. But dashing would get you, because you have
Technically,
35, so
small
70 feet.
movements out of the
That's
ground.
exactly 70 feet.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it doesn't glow to show a path.
And
But
then,
I actually feel like bioluminescence really hits everything, but that seems like a long word for a riddle
Well,
answer.
it could be a glowworm.
it is.
Well, but like
That would be
bioluminescence
utilizing
would.
bioluminescence.
But I'm just saying, the obvious answer is
'cause-
anglerfish.
'cause
Just
the obvious
just
thing
read it
is,
over.
like bioluminescence wouldn't
This is written in
show
orc.
in the light,
Orcish.
right? Because it would be
Overpowered.
light.
That's why it's not
Well,
bright.
yeah, but
but
like
it's-
show my path is.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
guess
like,
bioluminescence works. But.
yeah, like a glow stick.
But hear me out. Anglerfish are in the darkest depths of the sea. They never see the light of surface.
Well, they're also
They glow to show their own
But they're
path.
also using bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Speak orc.
Like bioluminescence is literally the term of like creating
Section.
light using chemicals
Jasmine?
from the body.
So Jasmine actually has one. I made a mistake on her first answer. Jasmine would have got this answer right.
What?
What bullshit was it though?
Why would time work? Weird.
I cast.
Wait, she did second guess?
No, her first guess on this one would have been correct. I made a mistake. That said, she did just get that one wrong. So now she for sure has one.
I'm just saying, fate checks all the boxes.
Okay.
I cast comprehend languages.
Well, does Malrith wanna?
Is that just a cast? So you bonus action
You have
up,
it
and then you
prepared?
just be able to read it.
Yeah, if you have it prepared. Why did you do that earlier?
Good question. Okay, so this one, I will be so mad impressed if any of you get this one.
Yeah, wait,
I
the orc one?
bioluminescence. Did
yes,
we do
this
that
new
one?
one.
We
You guys
have-
have not actually proffered a guess on that one.
Only the dragons can say it.
Okay, the next one says, I stand tall and proud, though I weigh a ton. My horn is a weapon, my battle is won. I'm often found where grasses grow, yet in heat I move slow.
A mammoth?
A rhinoceros.
Okay.
Does a mammoth exist in this world?
Absolutely.
Bro, they're extinct on the planet, okay?
The answer to your question is yes.
Are they an extinct species or are they alive?
No, they're just a thing. They're
Mammoths
creatures.
are not extinct creatures.
In fact, they're used oftentimes in war. All right.
A mini over there for him.
Since I was the one who first came up with it, she would say draconic bioluminescence.
I'm just saying. I think a mammoth works for
That
that.
meets everything.
Dude, I'm just telling you,
Like, I
a
want
mammoth,
the answer, but it
solid
might be
answer.
shit.
That's what I'm.
That's the whole point of riddles. If you're looking for the specific answer, You're gonna cuck so many people over.
Yeah.
Bioluminescence be considered bright?
No, it's never bright.
Well, it's
Well, it's bright in the dark, but it's not bright.
Have you never seen movies where like you see the
I'd give it to you.
bioluminescence?
I'd give it to you. I would say yes. As she says bioluminescence, the glowing nature to these seems to almost dim, still to the point where it's glowing, but now you can see what the I don't know where it went. Apparently, it moved. I had something for this. It's actually a ring of mushrooms on the ground.
Uh-oh, Auntie Ethel's gonna teleport us.
Holy shit, guys.
It's a fairy circle.
Alright, hear me out. Would anglerfish have worked?
Definitely not.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Checks all the boxes.
I don't know where it went. Imagine it's mushrooms,
I don't
not
think
eggs.
Well,
But they don't use
anglerfish
their-
can't stand tall. They don't have legs.
No, that's something else.
Oh, look, there it is.
Yeah, the only thing I don't know about anglerfish.
What was
I don't
it?
know if they
What did you
use
think
their
what did you have for it?
bioluminescence
For this?
getting
Traveling?
around.
Glowing
I
fungi.
think they only use.
And I would say that bioluminescence is what's on fungus
You
or
can't
mushrooms
kill the
that
fish.
cause them to glow.
I'm pretty sure they can't see in the dark.
But the actual answer technically is fungi because many fungi in caves, when exposed to
swim around
bioluminescence,
in the dark and
then
use their
glow.
light to
And
lure
yeah,
the
bioluminescence is the stuff on it that causes it to grow. So I would say yes, absolutely, that'll work.
Okay,
Okay, sis. They are a bunch of mushrooms that do seem to be glowing a light yellow.
okay, but straight up, mammoth is definitely the answer.
No, it's not.
Mammoth has tusks.
Tell me why it's not.
If you're talking about the one with the rhino horn, it's a rhino for sure.
So
I feel like
what
this is
are-
the thing
What are people
Justin
doing?
hated.
Tiku's the only one who's moved.
I'm going to move into the mushrooms.
You technically could dash.
Just straight.
Are you going into the ring of mushrooms?
Into the ring of mushrooms.
Tiku's going to jump into the ring of mushrooms.
It's a rhinoceros. It's for sure a rhinoceros.
The feeling that you have that when you had that liquid that you tasted and it kind of coated you, where it almost seemed to kind of like harden in your throat,
I can't. I used everything.
seems to go away,
Yeah. Well, are you gonna try it?
and the light of
Yeah.
the fungi almost seems to
Why don't you
die
try it?
slightly.
Bring
The only
Bring
thing, the only other
the-
thing that
the dragon
so there's only a
bastard
couple of creatures
bitch.
that even have
What's his
one
name?
horn.
Bring Kane here.
Okay, as Tiku calls out to bring
Rhinoceros
Kane to
is
her.
One of them.
It
Maori
doesn't have to
will
be the
exist.
only thing with. It doesn't actually mean it has to be one horn.
I climb out.
I'm also just saying, it doesn't mean it has to be a horn.
Dragon
it could
girly.
be like a battle horn. The person
Dragon
that blows the
baby.
horn in a battle.
Well, yeah, but like,
She'd technically done her
the
turn
big
this
thing is,
round.
Like, yet in
so
heat,
that's why
I
it's
move
important.
slow.
I tell her to put them in the mushrooms.
And acknowledge. What are the three of you doing?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to step into the ring of mushrooms.
That really fuck. What? You just moved.
So
What do you mean I just
you
moved?
want to dash?
You
I
just
didn't move.
Hiram.
I was moving you
moved
guys up
you.
because you guys have been moving through the thing.
Oh, okay.
Hiram
So
Would you like to dash?
does that count as my movement since it wasn't my own action? It was the DM's action.
Okay, you
Yeah,
can stand
it's
back there.
Like,
Sure, you're back there.
Okay,
Do you
now
want
what
to
would you like to do?
I would like to action dash and get to the.
I don't think you can get there.
You actually can't. You could get to there.
Okay,
As
I'll
Clay
get to
Beekman
that.
would be coming up to the ring of mushrooms. So technically, it'd be the two of you.
And then just gets teleported to the Fey realms.
Is there an activation on the mushroom circle?
We don't know. It's a mushroom circle.
Tiku's called out to bring. I almost called you Clay now. What's happening? To bring Kane to the mushrooms.
See, he started stealing our names, and now he doesn't know who's who.
I'll just dash forward to. Have we looked down the other side?
You guys have not gone that way. Gurgle is right there.
Yeah, but he's gonna do his thing, so. I can
He
move
is
my
the
friend.
fastest person, so.
You know, like you just move it closer to Gurgle as far as I can, I guess.
Two more.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay. You technically could dash as well if you wanted.
And I'm obviously moving my math is fine, but we're just gonna say that's happening.
We are dashers.
Where are you going?
towards Gurgal.
There we go. Unfortunate. Wait. And that's all you get to
Always
do.
the last line. Because Valhalla works for everything but the last
Okay,
line.
before we actually, did you actually want to proffer a guess, Gurgle? Because you're the only one who's over there.
Cam is gone.
Oh, that's your Nate. Fix.
The camera died again.
You just
I guess technically you do. That said, it would be again to the next one. The only reason we're even doing turn order is just so that I can keep track of this. Honestly,
it is.
I could just start timing it, especially. Maybe that's better. Rather than doing like a turn order, I could just start timing it as it starts to progress.
We go main temporarily.
What?
We're going to main temporarily.
Just me? Is everything broken?
No, I meant the camera.
Oh.
Just if we're not.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do this timing based, as it is going to the stone is continuing to grow, but rather than doing it by turn, because again it will speed it up. So Gurgle, you're the one who's up in front of it, but the rest of you, assuming you are going to move with Gurgle, do you just want to prefer a guess on this one, or you continue to bring Clay? Kane.
Girl's got a guess he wants. So.
A rhinoceros.
Okay.
And then we kill this thing.
As you call rhinoceros again, the stone, and as it starts to break, and you start to see the balls on the top of these tendrils seem to be, they almost look like black pearls, but there's a light, almost like thin, again, membrane to them, to where something's inside of it as it starts to crack before it actually falls into pieces. And
Oh, great.
I didn't think that the one horn was going to be enough.
Dude, I just went and saw this at the zoo this weekend. In real life, they're dope.
I apologize. That was probably really loud.
I
Moving the
was
mic.
thinking of something so much more.
Like, no, well, like, I thought Rhino was good enough, but I wasn't sure on the whole in the heat move slow, because I just wasn't sure on that one.
I actually did know that, because that's
very
literally
much so
that's
do.
literally like when I went. Cause
like
I only know this because
water.
me and Stephanie went to the zoo for our anniversary. For anybody that cares, I literally read it on their little rhino page.
That's what you're saying. You cheated. Gurgle saw rhinos in the Dryson Woods, and he's like, I know these creatures.
I had the insider knowledge.
They were so cool.
Do you need a rhino mini? Because I have one I printed
legit
out.
have a real life picture of me riding a metallic rhino in the zoo. From the
Back on track, as you guys bring Kane over to the fungi, it does not seem to immediately cleanse the stone. The effect that you got was effectively almost in you kind of have the idea of a proximity. You're pretty sure you know what to do with these. What do you do with mushrooms? Specifically Tiku.
Cook them.
Doesn't it take her an hour to cook though?
If she actually wants to make a full meal out of them, you also could just feed them to him. But it's...
Can I? He's stone. I can stick it in his mouth.
You just fucking slap that shit on him, just start grinding on. You see those grinding bowls? You just grind it in his mouth?
I don't want Tiku grinding on Kane.
You know,
The answer is...
That would feel awful. Stone on scales?
These fungi can be fed to a petrified target to save them. However, only one use that you've found here.
Damn,
only
you ate a
one.
lot of mushrooms, dude.
It's not actually that
Those
many
on
mushrooms. This is
shrooms.
the only thing I have. As Tiku would take the mushrooms and just
Bro, it's high as
kind
a
of
kite.
sad that you don't feel like you have time to really cook it into a meal. Kind of just like... just kind of like shove it into his
I
mouth.
feel like for a moment she actually goes over to them, like goes down the hall, looks at the man and starts like, "Please, can you stop? I want to cook."
Tiku need to cook.
I need to cook.
Bro, it's actually high as a
And then he's like,
You get that same almost like looking past you, which anger to only anger.
Don't let him
is the
see me.
expression
I
that
think
you
he gets
can-
a speed boost.
stupid man
He's
stone,
so-
not the Tiku cook.
With that, after you feed the mushrooms to him,
sad.
or the
So
fungi,
mad.
I guess
Sad
fungi and
mad.
mushrooms is the same thing.
Yeah.
Feeding the fungi to Kane would cleanse would cure the petrification. And also, take this off.
Oh dear God, that would have been the best.
I was gonna say, I don't know why you turned it back around.
Want to know what would be crazy? We go down here and it loops back around here. Sheesh.
Okay, so I assume you're
Sad
just kind of continuing, Gurgle, kind of running through here. I believe. Doubting myself now. Okay, Gurgle. As you would round the corner, you would see again another new creature, but not blocking the hall.
Ugh.
As you would get here, and you would see almost the two legs look to be that of gazelle-like legs.
Girl, just hook off.
The knees bend backwards rather than forward like a normal helm. I don't think that camera's on.
That,
huh?
that camera's not on.
No, it's not going. Yeah, no, it's fine. That one's off.
When you make it to the torso, again, seems to be like a human torso, but a
focus.
couple things you notice.
Too close.
The skin on the torso is
Still
even
not
made of
focusing.
stone, clearly is a stone. And then
More
in
towards
addition
the
to
center.
that, there is what appears to
Turn
be
on the bottle, not
6
that we're so
separate
busy.
sets of arms that seem to wrap around it. The hands on the arms don't seem to have palms. Instead, it almost goes from the arm into what appears to be 5 fingers that almost like stretch out and almost look to be more of like insect-like legs. So the arms almost looks like it just instead splits into, again, it would be accurate to say almost like antennae, into 5 separate antennae in place of where your normal phalanges would be. The 6 arms that rack around it and almost like kind of hug it almost look like it's trying to crush itself. And then 2 arms that seem to sprout from the sides of its neck that come and wrap around are the only 2 human arms, both of them hands outstretched. Where you would normally see the head of this creature, which you would assume again based on you would look to see at least something kind of humanoid, maybe even like kobold-like, is instead met with what appears to be almost like a bulb of flesh that does have a kobold head that is extending almost at an angle backwards outside of its head. As, again, this creature, frozen in stone, has words at its feet. These words, you have comprehend language going, so you would just be able to read them. For what it's worth, these are in primordial, so you would be able to read them anyways. That said, this one says, I speak without a voice and hear without ears. I have no body, but I am alive with the wind. What am I? Yeah. With that, again, this one does not seem to be blocking the hall. You could easily walk past it.
But it's got some weird ass movable ground on it.
That's everywhere. So these are
That's
supposed to
some
represent
sus
you seeing
ground.
those creatures, whatever those constructs in the dirt are. That's what those are all about the map.
That's some sus ground, dude.
It's not a whistle, is it?
Do you want to just continue past? Do you want to wait here? I assume you guys kind of group back up. Are you having Malrith follow you, squeezing through everything?
No, I would want to thank you, TQ. I was a little scared there for a second. I would thank Malrith as well, but unless she wants to squeeze, I don't think she would.
She literally already said why is it so cramped.
Yeah.
She would not only just for your just kind of wherewithal. Not only would Malrith not like being in tight spaces like this, Malrith also just hates being stuck underground in caves where she wouldn't be able to fly and move around. It very much so. It almost would give off like a claustrophobic style of
Chimes.
So you're actually saying chimes as a preferred guess, right? Okay.
Will be casting healing spells on myself. Cool.
Whistle has to be blown into, but chimes function without
But
somebody
They
blowing.
only sing with the wind.
but they have a body. And how do they hear? They
As
don't hear.
again, the stone would in the arms that almost seem to be crushing it. As soon as the stone starts to crack,
Body.
it seems to
matter,
almost
but-
it almost seems to grip harder. You watch as the torso itself, the scales, as it's kind of almost again hugging itself. You watch as the scales creak and crack and almost start to crumble in like it's crushing itself. The two hands that are up over it, almost like crane-like arms, kind of, and immediately it goes to reach out to you. And as you kind of called it out, and again, there's some room, thinking you're safe, saying the word from a safe distance. Sorry, trying to move around. As it kind of like reaches out, but the arm continues to reach as what is 5 foot, 10 foot, 15 feet, as the arm just seems to extend before and grabbing at Gurgle.
I assume we would have been moving.
For another natural 20. I'll move everybody, as this would be. What the hell was that?
Back to the battle, man.
Arise. For 41 points of bludgeoning damage this time, as this hand would reach out and grab you, and it would stay attached to you. And or again, it's not actually a hand. As these tendrils grab your shoulder, they would almost start to, almost like a whip, similar to how you would typically grapple things. They wrap around Gurgle's arm. And that is where we are going to end for this week, as Gurgle has now.
Does it have a physical
Means
form?
I have to wait all week to figure out the riddle.
You have a whole week to don't.
Yeah, but I don't get the answer for a whole week.
Correct. Don't look up the answer.
But we go later. We go later
I was doing that this
because
whole
we
time,
started
so I'm not
later.
supposed to?
Hey, you got it, Jasmine.
This is so
You
crazy.
straight up got the answer. This one isn't like, could it work? That's exactly what it is.
But-
With that being the case, to figure out what the answer is, we will have to wait
Jasmine
till
gets closure.
next week. She did get the answer.
Now she can hoard it over.
With that, we will be here next week. We will not be here the following week. I did double check to make sure that is the date. But yes, we will see you guys again next week to see if they can find the answer that you found, Jasmine. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope you have a good week. Bye.